Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries. The latest book from veteran author Vince McKee takes you behind the scenes of some of the biggest moments in Ohio high school football history. McKee has every big rivalry covered, from the Holy War to the Silver Rail. You can find Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries anywhere books are sold or online at Amazon.com. Gable Search Group. Founded in 2002, they help companies find candidates for most of their open positions nationwide. Gable Search Group is a professional placement firm located in Willoughby and only 20 minutes from the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. They specialize in areas of accounting, finance, legal, sales and marketing, information technology, engineering, and a host of other personnel. Their company can place an individual on a permanent or temporary basis nationwide. You can find out more about them today by visiting www.gablesearch.com or calling 440-951-9990. Start your career today with Gable Search Group. Airport Go-Kart. If you're looking for a fun time with your kids or friends, then head over to Airport Go-Kart at 16208 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. It's fun for everyone involved at a next to nothing price.
It's the Key on Sports Game of the Week as we are live here as we begin Week 5 from Ken Duke Stadium in beautiful Medina, Ohio, where the Strongsville Mustangs come to visit and play against the Medina Battling Bees. I'm Cole McDaniel. Alongside me, Dom Clary. Dom, great to be back with you here once again. A beautiful night for some football action. Hard to believe we're at the midway point through the regular season already.
I can't believe it. It's weird because we're already in the middle of the high school season. We're in the week 3 of college, week 2 of the NFL. It's almost as if there's just not enough football, Cole, but there's a lot going on. Thursday there's football, today there's football, and we have more football throughout the week, but this is my favorite night of the week here in Medina, Cole. Love watching high school football, love covering it with you, and we should have a doozy on our hands here tonight.
Yeah, and a great support system out here for all these players out on the field. Again, the visiting stands pretty full. The home stands across the way from us here full as well. The student section off to the right end zone, again, that is full as well. So we're expecting a good one here this evening. So let's touch on the home team, the Medina Battling Bees. Last time you and I were here, Dom, last year there were fireworks going off at the end of the game because it was homecoming. This time, not that we know of that there are going to be any fireworks going on at the end of the game.
I guess we'll find out.
But we're hoping for some fireworks on the football field. We're hoping to see a good one. And the Battling Bees, they come in with an overall record of 3-1. Tonight is the start of Greater Cleveland Conference play for them, so opening up the conference schedule. Now, the only loss they had was at Avon, second week of the season, where they fell 43-42. Nearly won that game, just failed on the 2-point conversion attempt. That's perhaps the game of the season in Northeast Ohio so far.
I mean, those are two teams I know we both love, not just watching, but kind of going on Twitter. What did they do, this past week? Some of our favorite players come out of Avon, come out of Medina. And it doesn't surprise me that those two teams are in the thriller of the century. And, this is a team, Medina, I am excited to see. Even last year, we saw a very dominant team, and I expect the same here today.
Well, their wins this season over Warren Harding, Wadsworth, and Stowe. Now, in the last 3 games, each of the last 3 games, they put up 40 or more points as an offense. That's a positive thing. You wondered what they would do coming into the season with not having their star quarterback, Drew Aller, who now finds himself at Penn State. Instead, Dan Stoddard steps in. He's had a great start to the season, has actually been the Keon Sports Jenny's Popcorn Player of the Week as well. That was after the Week 2 performance against Avon, so they have performed well on offense. But the question maybe is, defensively, can they get the stops necessary? Because also in those same last 3 weeks, they have given up 99 points, so they're going to look to get some stops defensively, get that going as they're hitting conference play now.
We're seeing a team that's kind of struggling to find their groove on defense, but we've seen a Strongsville team that's been inconsistent on offense. Yes, they have a quarterback that I know we both like in Nolan Beard. He's a kid that shows some poise. He's a little bit jumpy in the pocket at times, but he has the potential of being a great quarterback. The thing is, we have a struggling offense versus struggling defense. What will break? Something has to give. I'm interested to see how that matchup's going to turn out today. Who will figure it out first, the Mustangs offense or the Battling Bees defense?
And as we're about to get the kickoff underway, as it will be the Mustangs sending it over to the Battling Bees from right to left on your screen. Reminder that the last 6 meetings, 4 of them have gone the way of the Battling Bees. The last win for Strongsville coming in 2018. So Strongsville looking to make something happen. This one's a short, high kick out to the far sideline, and that one will sail out of bounds. And the penalty marker will be dropped. So that's how we get this one started. It will be good field position for the Battling Bees. Now looking at the visitors, the Strongsville Mustangs, they come in with an overall record of 2-2, and they are 0-1 in the GCC so far. Last week they fell against Solon 10-0, a very low scoring defensive game. We actually covered their game, of course, week 1 against Avon Lake as they were at home and they lost that one. But the next 2 weeks they bounced back with wins over Midview, 35-27, and then over Brecksville Broadview Heights, 41-20. Now we'll see if that Strongsville defense can make a stand against a high-powered Battling Bees offense here on the first drive. 1st and 10 from the 35. Brennan Scram, a little trick play. He floats this one up and an interception. First play of the game for Strongsville. Hauling this one in, taking this back to the other side of the field into Battling Bees territory. Wow, what a start for the Mustangs. Coming up with that pick is Brody Kraus.
I mean, we saw a quarterback there, threw that there on his back foot. Not something that we usually see there from Danny Studard. and he launched that ball on the double coverage. Beautiful play there by the defense.
Well, that wasn't Danny Stoddard.
Pardon me.
Actually, Brennan Scram was given the ball, and the wide receiver, his second pass attempt of the season, was 0 for 1 on the year, and that one floated that one up through the interception. And Brennan Scram, a very talented receiver, guy to watch out for. Interesting play call to start this game, trying to get a little bit aggressive, and did not pay off. So now Nolan Beard, the sophomore quarterback, onto the field for the Mustangs. A short throw into the flat, has his receiver getting to the end zone and in, but I think this one's going to be coming back because of the penalty marker in the backfield. I would assume this is going to be a hold, but a lot of credit to the tailback, number 47, Xavier Belvin. But again, this will come back for Strongsville. And there is that hold call. So a little bit of a buzz here on the road for Strongsville to start this one. Unfortunate for them that this one has to come back because a huge play on defense, nearly a huge play on offense there.
You know, right now I'm challenging this offensive line. What can you do here in this game? Oh, we could have offsetting penalties here.
Offense number 9, decline, holding, number 6.
It's a double holding.
Two holdings going against the Mustangs. So no offsetting penalties. Again, the first one was declined, second one accepted. Ball moves back to the 43-yard line now for Strongsville.
And I believe one of the numbers we heard was it was number 9?
Yes, correct.
So it wasn't your offensive line there on one of the holdings. I didn't hear what that second number was.
Beard back to pass. Short throw to the near side of the field. Some room to run, and rumbling down and taken down near the 20-yard line. Getting that ball out of Beard's hands quickly. And that one in the hands of Will Dasher, the sophomore receiver. And knocking on the door are the Mustangs. Optimal start for them on the road, a tough test tonight.
And this is not an easy team to put points up on, or to beat, I should say. Right now, they're standing up to the test.
Beard in the gun, short throw out to the far side of the field, a little bit of room to run, and quickly swarmed and taken down. But Brandon Cox, the senior, as he was hit there, a penalty marker went down. I think this one's going to be against Medina. Again, there was a cheer from Strongsville. And it's going to be face mask against the defense.
Those face mask calls are just ones you hate if you're a defensive coordinator or any member of that defense. Usually the case is that you're high. You don't want to be high as a defender. You want to have a good base, bend the knees. You don't want to stay high. When you stay high, your hand comes across, you snag the mask. That happened to me so many times when I played defense in high school. And you get yelled at, not because you grabbed the face mask, because that shows you were too high. If your body's too high, your hands are too high, that's where that penalty comes from. That's one you're going to want to have back for Medina, because that was a good defensive play there to swarm there on a screen play.
First and goal from the 10, Beard looking to run up the middle, made a man miss, gets down inside the 5-yard line and hit at about the 4, and we'll see exactly where they spot him there. But that was a nice carry by Beard, and I actually think he's not getting the most favorable spot here right now. I thought he got to the 4-yard line, but instead they're going to put it right about the 5.5-yard line. They're going to say officially on the 6. So an interesting wrinkle there on the play call. Week 1, we didn't see much of Beard scrambling. We saw him rolling out and throwing on the run, but a little bit of a change of game plan there. Here's a handoff up the middle, looking for the end zone, and I think that is in. We're awaiting the final confirmation. No, just short on that carry. I think Strongsville thought they were into the end zone. That handoff to Michael Novak up the middle, the big senior, nearly into the end zone, and now third and a very short one.
Here on 3rd and 1. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. This is how you find out what type of team you have here in the trenches. 1 yard to go, who's going to give?
Here's a keeper up the middle, Nolan Beard into the end zone. Touchdown Mustangs, 6-0 in favor of the visitors. A perfect start for them here in Medina.
Nolan Beard, way to rally up your team. That's Well, we saw a good drive from them the first time we saw them in week 1, but they failed to punch it in. They kind of held themselves back. Not the case here in this drive. They kept moving forward. That offensive line really showed what they were made of. I don't know if you weren't looking away, but number 67 was not on the field and he was running on, so there's going to be legal forward motion here because he was running forward.
I believe so, and that PAT was up and good, but the penalty going against the kicking team here now. And so now talking with the coaching staff of Medina, I think we're going to see a retry and maybe backing this one up here. But a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. So the re-kick coming here in just a moment as Strongsville tries to put another one up on the board and make it 7-0. We've played a very exciting, very interesting, maybe surprising first 2.5 minutes so far in this first quarter. And now both teams reset back on the field. The hold is good and the kick is up, and that one is good. 7-0 Strongsville, and now the Bees looking to battle back, Dom.
Yeah, no, I think leave the trick plays at home. Your offense is dominant. They proved that in every single game they played, win or lose. Now you have to go back to that. They love passing the ball. They love the running with the quarterback. Go back to that. I played on a team that loved doing those trick plays, especially there on the first play of the game. That was the case here for their first possession. That was one play, one interception. Now get back into your groove. Get comfortable. Put your team in a winning situation. That wasn't the case last possession, Cole.
Well, that drive was so quick the last time out. It was one play and done for the Battling Bees. Didn't even have a chance to talk really about some of their star players and mention their quarterback, number 19, Dan Stoddard, a junior, really stepped up. Again, we talked about the talk going into the season was who was going to step up for Haller. Could Stoddard do it? Stoddard has been phenomenal, going 116 for 163. Now, 1,720 passing yards already, 18 touchdowns. He's only had 2 interceptions. Now, they're still running that air raid type of offense in the empty sets. And this kick back to the 10 is where it's fielded, trying to get around the near side. Not too much room to run, and taken down at about the 24-yard line is Austin Knowles. And what I was mentioning right before that kick is they're still going to that empty set, maybe even more so this year. Still going with that air raid offense, not really running the ball. You're going to see them coming out with 4 or 5 wide very regularly. And Stoddard also has the ability to move. He's their leading rusher on the season. 47 carries, 167 yards, so 3 TDs. So 21 all-purpose TDs through 4 weeks for him so far. He's going to try to get things rolling with his offense again.
We got 4 wide receivers out to the right, 1 to the left on his lonesome. No running back help here for the pass pro.
Here's the snap. Stoddard back to pass. Has some time, looking to scramble. And taken down from behind. The pressure there from number 35, David Hakeem.
So this is interesting here, Cole. So since they have 5 wide receivers out there, no running backs, they're not worried here about this run attack. Only 3 people rushed there. I think they gave up maybe a yard at most. This is interesting here. They're going to place 49, who's a nose guard, wherever they want to get the pass rush from. Look, there's 2 people on the line of scrimmage right now.
Stoddard back to pass again. A little bit of pressure in his face. He takes a hit, but gets it out and gets it to Knowles on the far sideline. Not much room there, but great job of standing in there. Junior quarterback not afraid to take the hit.
This is a team that scouted very well, and they responded to that scout plan. Again, I've seen this before where, hey, we're worried about the quarterback. They're not even going to worry about any rushing attack. 2 people are rushing there on the left side. You have 3 offensive linemen that don't know what to do now.
After the pickup of 5. Sets up a 3rd and 4 from the 30. Stoddard back to pass, looking over the middle. Sails that one high, intercepted by the Mustangs again. Huge interception by Cox. And back in Battling Bees territory once again. This is an unbelievable start for the defense of the Mustangs.
Cool, I got chills right now. This is a team that believed that they could win here tonight. I know it's early, but this is a team that believes what they're doing right now. They trust in that coaching staff. This is why I love football. This is a team that believes that they can win even if they are underdogs. That's 2 picks on 2 possessions. If they go down and score, Cole, I might just end up jumping out of the box and joining them on the field because this is exciting stuff right now. This is why football is awesome.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable start. Of course, this is going to be a long night still to come. We've only played 4 minutes here so far in the first quarter, but a lot happening, and Strongsville has the belief. Now Beard back to pass, finds McIntyre. Oh, beautiful play to the 10, to the 5. And just out of bounds at the 1-yard line, a little hook and ladder. What a smart play call there. And McIntyre timed it up perfectly. Found a Talon hold, found that's Jeremiah Pleasant, and Pleasant making the huge play.
Cool, we like to call that play Boise because I believe the 2009 Fiesta Bowl. Seriously, this is what we call it here for all the teams I played. We call it Boise, you call it Bronco. That's exactly what that is. There's a curl route, and there's a slant or an out route somewhere, and it's just a boom. Hook and ladder down the field. They never see it coming. My favorite trick play in the book.
And they're going to officially say it's at the 2-yard line. Snap is high. Beard has to use his right hand and one hand, pull that one in. He's pushing, got some help from his O-line, and he just got stood up at the 1. So got a yard, and now down at maybe the half-yard mark right now, going to be 2nd and goal. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see number 43, Michael Novak, the big senior tailback and linebacker, is in there with Beard. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to take advantage of his physicality here. Instead, he's the lead blocker for Beard, and Beard finds his way into the end zone. 2 rushing touchdowns for the sophomore quarterback. And the Battling Bees crowd is stunned right now. Mustangs 13-0, 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Cole, I have chills. This is football. That's beautiful. The nice hook and ladder, the nice Boise play. I love it. Only took 2 rushing plays to get in the end zone. You have a Medina team that is in utter shock right now. They did not see this coming, but you know who did? The players on that field in that white right now, and all the fans in front of us here. This is Strongsville team that's clicking on all cylinders right now, something that we didn't see in week 1.
And the made PAT by number 92, Bradley Whitecar, makes it 14-0. Wow. We've already said it. This has been incredible. What a start. Of course, a long night to go. And, of course, when you're going up against such a talented team like Medina, you got to just continue to claw and fight, not let off the gas, not feel like this one is, in your hands too early, because the script can flip very, very quickly. But like I said, plenty of time left for both of these teams. But the Mustangs on defense, their confidence has to be continuing to grow and absolutely sky high right now. Something else, Dom, as we're about to get to this kickoff here in a moment, that I want to mention. The composure of sophomore quarterback Nolan Beard. We saw him in week 1. We saw a lot of good things, but against a fairly tough defense of Avon Lake, he had his fair share of struggles and was getting settled in. He looks a whole lot more composed and calm here tonight. This has been great for the sophomore quarterback so far.
Oh, absolutely. I think seeing that pick there put him in a position I think he was really happy to be in, where, okay, we're on the positive side of the field now. We can, our script's a little different than what Coach said before the game, but now it only takes a few more plays, and that's exactly what happened on back-to-back possessions for him. He can be comfortable, he can relax, he can look at the scoreboard and say, let's keep balling out, let's keep having fun. But again, I had a basketball coach tell me this growing up. It's hard to play with the lead. Very hard to play with the lead, especially when you're an underdog and you didn't see that you were going to have the lead there in the game when you looked at the game plan. Now you have the lead. Things change a little bit now. How do you handle it?
So once again, a short kickoff. The illegal procedure now puts Medina at the 35-yard line. They're going to run it with Stoddard. Stoddard, a little bit of room to run, gets out near the sideline, stays in bounds, move the chains, and up to the 48-yard line. So a nice run there from the quarterback. Mentioned he is the leading rusher on the team. 4 receivers to the near side of the field, a set we've seen quite a few times already here early in this one, and some movement up front. And going to be a false start against Medina, so after really their best offensive play so far yet tonight. False start there on number 52, Joey Kipro. So again, 4 receivers to the near side of the field. Stoddard in the gun. Going to be a run once again. Has the polar in front of him. Stoddard gets out past the 50-yard line. And a nice pickup to get some yardage back there. And going to be marked down at the 47-yard line on the Mustang side of the field.
So like what they're doing with Stoddard right now, keep the set you have with them, but they're not going to rush more than 3 at the max right now. Is what we're telling. They want 9 people in coverage against the 5 people that they have to protect. So they're not going to protect against the run. Make them defend against the run. If you're Medina, make them have 4 people have a hand on the dirt. Don't let them kind of be reserved. Right now, Strongsville's comfortable doing what they're doing. They're not afraid to give up a few touchdowns. Keep running the ball. See what happens. You'll be surprised how quickly a game plan can change for a defense.
So following the play, a personal foul penalty going against number 15, Brandon Cox. That helps out the Battling Bees, continues to move them further into Mustangs territory as they look to bounce back. Pressure in the face of Stoddard. Stoddard launches this one to the outside of the field. Tight coverage from Cox, and that one sails out of bounds over the head of the intended target, Knowles.
I like that no call there. That was not catchable. So I like the no call there. I know the student sections there on the far end kind of upset about it, but that was the right call by calling nothing. This Medina line's struggling right now, Cole. They only have to protect really against 1 or 2 people, and they're getting through almost every time. This is not a good sign here for this offensive line.
Stoddard to run again. Has the polar in front of him. A little bit of room. Wiggles his way through and picks up a gain of 4. So a nice run there for the quarterback. Makes it much more manageable here on 3rd down. So Dom, obviously, Brennan Scram, the senior wide receiver, comes in to the night with 36 receptions, 571 yards, 7 TDs. But you also have to watch out for Austin Knowles, the junior receiver. He's put up very similar numbers. Again, he's running on that far outside right now cutting in. Stoddard targets him, finds Knowles. Knowles spins off the initial tackle and then pushes his way forward. That's past the 1st down marker, but a helmet is off for a Strongsville player back here. Penalty marker on the field. I think this is going to be a dead ball foul against Medina.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Number 77.
Yeah, and that one was obvious there. Is just some physicality there between the tackle, number 77, Pete Jarvis, and it looked like it was number 49, Dalton Bickharden. That helmet came off. Easy call there for the official going against Jarvis and the Battling Bees, and that's exactly what they didn't want after picking up the 1st down there.
Yeah, no, you make it easy on the ref when you take the guy's helmet off, right? Doesn't make it a really hard call when there's a head rolling there on the field.
Well, especially when it's rolling a good 10 yards on the field. You know, it didn't just plop straight down. It just continued to roll. So very obvious for them here. And now this will be interesting as it will still be 3rd down
big
now.
Discussions going on.
Yeah.
So their big personnel change there for the Strongsville. We see this a lot in college where they have personnel changes depending on what the situation is. High school, not so much because usually your roster's a little thin. The mic's breaking up here for the ref.
Excuse me, again, that is 1st and 10. Again, that was after the play. They finally got things changed with the board down there and the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 41-yard line. They have everything sorted out down on the field.
Well, right now you have a unit that's not as big as the last unit. Seems like more like a pass rushing unit. Two rushers there on the left side.
5 wide once again. Stoddard back to pass. Has plenty of time now. Now needs to get out. Rolling to his right. Looking for his intended target. A jump there right on the sideline. And that one was hauled in, but appears to be out of bounds. Incomplete in the direction of junior wide receiver number 6, Jack Wojciak.
I like the enthusiasm there by the Strongsville coaching staff. They're waving incomplete, and then you just saw 3 coaches all jump in the air because they knew their team did exactly what they wanted them to do. I love seeing the coaches get into the game that way, showing how much they really care about the results on the field.
Man in motion, now trips left. This is going to be a screen. Needs to get this one away. Stoddard wrapped up and taken down. Christopher Scarvelli in the backfield. Don, this defense is dismantling the Battling Bees right now.
I'm an offensive guy, Cole. Like I say, I'm enjoying the defense right now here for Strongsville. I said one's got to give, but it's a little bit different than I thought. We're talking about the opposite offense and defenses. Right now, Strongsville's defense is dominating.
Interesting there, as there's a punt pinned deep at the 1 yard line, and that one rolls into the end zone as they weren't able to save it. The only thing that completely threw me off is they punted on 3rd and 27 from the 42 yard line. They punted on 3rd down.
So this is interesting. I was listening to the Dan Lepetard podcast yesterday, and they talked, I want to see a punting game where we see it's 3rd and 20. You know what? Let's just punt it. And I thought, who would ever do that? We just saw that, and I cannot believe my eyes right now. On 3rd down, they punted the ball.
I'm astonished.
Good job, defense. You made them so discouraged that he punted the ball on 3rd down. I've never seen that, Cole. Never.
I'm still looking up at that board right now. I'm like, I can't really believe what we're seeing right now. But, hey, to each their own. Punting on 3rd down, seeing this one away. And now the Mustangs have the ball at the 20-yard line. Little pitch. Some room to run to get around the edge here. Getting out past the 1st down marker. And stepping out of bounds, an excellent run there for Xavier Belvin, the junior running back. So just over 4.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Mustangs pulling off the upset right now, 14-0 over the Battling Bees. Again, I'm Cole McDaniel, alongside me, Dom Clary. If you have not already, make sure to share the live stream here, as well as, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. 1st and 10 from the 33. Beard, a quick pass, and that one bobbled and slipped out of the hands of Belvin there. Falls incomplete, hits the ground, no harm done. Should have hauled that one in, though.
So Brandon Soder just brought up an interesting point to me here. Our man on the camera, our producer here, and I believe you guys will hear him on the halftime show. But he brought up a good point where Medina is not playing dominant right now. They're playing scared, and I truly agree with what he told me. I agree with that statement where this is not a dominant team that we've seen playing dominant. It's a team kind of a little scared that they did not see this happening, and now they're kind of keep backpedaling and saying, hey, we're going to take a step forward and be dominant. They're a little scared of what's going on right now.
So right now on defense, the Battling Bees need some guys to step up, and you're going to look to defensive end number 17, Preston Pennington, the senior. He's their sacks leader on the year. Going to need him to get in the backfield, make something happen. Here's a pass, and the hit immediately. Not much of anywhere to go. They're going to say that one is incomplete, but as soon as that one was hauled in, the big hit resulted in what the Battling Bees felt like was a fumble. Instead, officials quickly waved that one incomplete, like I said. Sets up 3rd and 10.
No, I don't think he had it there. You know, I think the ruling is that you have to make an athletic move. There really was. He turned, but I wouldn't say that was an athletic move. Didn't really have time to do anything with the ball after the ball landed in his hands.
2 receivers out to the far side of the field. McIntyre to the near side. Beard back to pass. Has plenty of time. Looking down the field. Throwing a shot. He's got a man. And just a step or 2 behind that ball was Brandon Cox, senior wide receiver, looking that one over his shoulder. And that was just a little bit too deep. Not enough touch there from Beard. Could have been a massive play, and we would have seen 20 up on the board here for Strongsville in the first quarter.
Oh, no doubt about that. If that lands in the hands there the intended target. That is absolutely a touchdown, but that's not what we saw there. We saw Medina defense starting to maybe figure things out here. A few solid hits, jarring the ball out of receivers' hands.
Here's the punt on 4th and 10. Brennan Scram picks it up, finds some room to run, getting out around the outside, and brought down at the Battling Bees 45-yard line. So that's where Stoddard in the offense returns again. The last drive was obviously better than the first 2 drives. They had some things going, didn't end in a turnover. Strange with the punt on 3rd down. That being said, you were getting the ball moving. You just had some penalties that kept knocking you back. If they can negate those penalties, perhaps they can find their way to get to the end zone, finally get points on the board in this game.
Let's see, they're in their classic air raid formation with no running back there. Let's see what the offensive line does. You know, they leave one side completely isolated, and they don't know what to do there.
Here's Stoddard, a quick throw, finds his intended target, cutting inside, not much room to run there for Wojciak.
Cool. I don't want to say it's off topic. It's a little on topic, but I didn't realize this. You know, I loved like the one logo on the side of the helmet. Strongsville only has the Mustang on the right side.
Yes.
Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cole. Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Of course. Dom's always got to drop that in, and about every single broadcast. Hey, next Thursday night. Next Thursday night on Amazon Prime, we'll see the Steelers. We will see the Browns as well. So a little bit of a different broadcast for that game. Really the first experience of that between those two teams, but that is always a good rivalry, a good matchup there. So, but still a lot of football left this week. We're still here in the first quarter from Medina. Again, a reminder, not only if you're watching this game live, if you watch the playback of this, make sure you go to KeyOnSports.com so you can see what happened around the area. Nearly 30 games each and every single week we are covering. Have a great staff out there covering the games, so make sure to pay attention to that, as well as our college coverage as well. Dom, again, heading up the MAC coverage. Going to be on a long trip tomorrow. We'll touch on that here a little bit later. Here's the snap. Stoddard looking to run. A little bit of patience there and follows a couple linemen, gets out past the 50-yard line, spot him down at the Mustangs 48. 3rd and 3 now, 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Can the Battling Bees get on the scoreboard here before the end of the first? Man in motion. Going to be a handoff out to the far side, and Wojciak looking for some room and powering through a couple defenders, getting an extra push at the end. He gets the first down, move the chains.
I like the jet sweep there, make the defense move a little bit. They kind of, when it comes to run plays, they're kind of looking in between the tackles with that quarterback run. I like it. I like the running. It's making the defense think a little bit. Hey, they're starting to run more than we anticipated. Maybe we have to change something, but the Strongsville coaching staff, they're pretty confident on the game plan they have right now.
Here's a man in motion again. Instead, the jet sweep. Stoddard keeps it, following his left tackle, gives an extra little push, and gets some extra yards there at the end. Nice little pickup there for the quarterback. Maybe a gain of 4 on that run. Brennan Scram coming all the way out to the near side. 4 receivers to the near side of the field for the Battling Bees. Going to take their time, look over to the sideline to get the play call in. Stoddard, run up the middle once again. He has room to run, has to make a man miss in open field, and a nice tackle there by the linebacker, Scarvelli. Still first down for the Battling Bees, though. Got just enough yardage. Move the chains once again.
You know, we're seeing this here with Stoddard where he's running a lot. But I told people last week at Penn State when they were surprised how fast Drew Alar was. He was he led his team in rushing last year.
Correct.
We're seeing this. It's the same thing here today with a different quarterback. Well, the same uniform here for Medina as it was last year. Just different quarterbacks.
Stoddard rolling to his right, looking for Scram. Scram trying to make a man miss in open field. A nice stiff arm. Big play by the experienced senior wide receiver. First down once again. Starting to get things clicking. The engine starting to churn and fire for the offense.
You know, and what's important here, you score, you want to look right at that student section. You want them in this game. This student section's in the game. They believe in you. They can be that 12th man here for you as the game continues to go on.
Snap back to Stoddard, throw out to the far side. Finds his man. And Wojak looking for some room and pushes forward to about the 11-yard line. Under 2 minutes left to go now in the first quarter from Medina, Ohio. Now we've got a good one on our hands. Interesting developments and still plenty of time here in this quarter to put some points on the board. Stoddard has some time, looking to scramble now. There's room up the middle, diving for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Battling Bees.
That's a quarterback that's willing to put his body in a line for a win. That's a quarterback that any offensive lineman would want to block for there. When you see your quarterback take off, when he slides, you're like, okay, he's protecting himself. But when he dives, he's trying to put you back in the game. He's here to win. That's a quarterback that is doing everything he can to make that score a little bit more even now. And if they can make this extra point, they're a little bit closer in doing that.
PAT up and good. 14-7, still in favor of the Mustangs as they return back onto the field. Now, if you are the Battling Bees, obviously that feels good. You got your offense rolling again. You got things clicking after 2 early interceptions, and the Mustangs were able to capitalize because of the great field position. Now you're playing the field position game here. Opportunity, if your special teams can come up big, bury the Mustangs deep. They really haven't been deep on their side of the field very much here so far. They've had the advantage for field position, but you wonder, can Beard and the Mustangs offense travel the length of the field? Obviously they capitalized on the short field, but can you bury them deep and your defense can step up like they did last time?
So what makes this a big drive here in the first quarter is your defense just had a long possession, right, where they were kind of slowly being pushed back. If you go 3 and out here, that's going to really hurt that defense because right now they're getting water, trying to get some air back, some energy back as well. If they're right back on that field, the momentum will severely change because now you're going to have a Medina offense that's finally figuring out what's clicking and a defense that kind of has to figure out what are we doing next. They won't have that time if there's a 3 and out. You have to have somewhat of a drive, put them back on the heels of their own end zone. That's the worst case scenario you want here if you're the Mustangs.
2 back deep to return for the Mustangs. We'll see if the Battling Bees try to keep it out of the hands here of Brandon Cox. We see him often returning these for the Mustangs. We'll see if he can get some room. It is Cox once again, and he's swarmed by green jerseys just out past the 30-yard line, and that is where the offense will return to operate here with 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter from Ken Duke Stadium in Medina. So mentioned, obviously, we still have a full second quarter coming up as well. And not only a shout out to my color man joining me tonight, Dom Clary, but also a shout out to Brandon Soder. Again, making sure that everything is running properly for us here, handling the sound, handling the video, and of course you will hear him at halftime for the halftime show recapping what we have seen in the first half. Ball on the 31-yard line. Man in motion, joining Beard now in the backfield. That's Belvin. Belvin gets the handoff up the middle, has some room to run, gets out to the 40-yard line. Excellent run on first down, gets near the marker.
Not a lot of rushing here, but Belvin does run it. A 5-yard rush, a 12-yard rush, now a 9-yard rush. He's giving the ball a little bit more cool. He's a workhorse back there for you. Thing is, when he's on the field, he's running the ball, but when he's not in that backfield there.
And the interesting thing is, They're putting him out at wide receiver often, and right now he's serving as a lead blocker on the wide receiver screen. Positive gain of yards there as Jeremy Knopf, the junior receiver, hauled that one in. The excellent blocking out in front got him up to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. So quickly approaching Medina territory once again. After giving up 7 points, can the Mustangs respond once again and extend their lead? Here's a handoff. Quickly wrapped up in the backfield. Great penetration by the front 7 of Medina, and not much room there for Belvin.
As soon as I said that he couldn't be stopped, he loses a yard. I swear, when I say things, it's cursed, Cole. It really is.
And that's how the first quarter wraps up. 14-7 in favor of Strongsville. We'll be right back for the start.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by All-in-One Services. Mike Zeck brings 37 years of experience with him to every job. Doesn't matter how big or small, Mike Zeck with All-in-One Services is the man to get it done. He can be reached at 919-909-7779 or online at allinoneservices.net. You can also email him pictures of the job needed to mzek@allinoneservices.net. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter. We flip fields, and now the Mustangs will be going from left to right on your screen. Belvin in motion. Beard back to pass, looking over the middle. He finds his intended receiver. Room to run, barreling through a couple tackles. Moving the chains once again. Great play there by the receiver for the Mustangs, and I am not seeing a number 80 here on the roster that we have been provided.
That's happened a few times here for us, Cole.
Just
not
a few
here,
times
not
in
here,
high school
but
football. Yeah. And looks like the roster for tonight, at least the roster at the beginning of the season, said that Storm Miller was number 80. And also Johnny Hogg, so not sure which one there. But again, it was a great play, and now the handoff to Belvin. Not too much room there on the carry for the running back. Second and 10, ball on the 33.
Didn't gain much there. Take your running back out there. What do you do here? Need to get around 6-5 yards here for or get within 6 to 5 yards here for third down. Second here. What play do you do?
We haven't seen much of McIntyre. Oh, this one slips through the receiver's hands. And fortunate for the Mustangs that one didn't fall right in the lap of the safety, number 26, Cooper Josefsik. That one hits the ground and falls incomplete.
Now, the question is here, are you trying to get the whole first down on this play, or are you just trying to get a little bit of it so you can kick a field goal? I don't know how good the kicking situation is here for Strongsville, but we might find out here.
A lot of times in high school, we're kind of in that no man's land right now where we're just past the 30-yard line, so we'll see what they can do. Beard back to pass, has a little bit of room to run, can maybe get past the 30-yard line and slides down and takes a pop at the end, and there's the flag as he slid late. Of course, the defender's going to complain about that, but that's an easy call there, protecting the quarterback.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I actually saw it in the NFL, this past Sunday. Joe Burrow was rushing. Looked like he never looked like he was going to stop, but Minkah Fitzpatrick thought he was going to stop. He just kept going. Now, we see the argument, how do I know when he's sliding? Do I just give up and then just hope he slides? So the argument stands there for the defense, but as an offensive lineman myself, don't touch my quarterback. So I can't argue with the call there, Cole.
The Battling Bees have been fairly penalty-stricken so far in this one, and that one is a killer for them as it backs them up 15 yards as they find themselves defending once again in their own red zone right after getting 7 points back. 5 wide once again for the Mustangs. Man in motion now. The pitch to Belvin. Belvin barreling forward, and he stopped. Not much room to work there after picking up a few.
Few's generous, Cole. I think it's just like a gain of 1 maybe.
It's still awaiting them to update it on the scoreboard again. That should be at about the 13-yard line. They had a 19-yard line there up on the board. Got that fixed here now. Officially 2nd and 5. And that can't be right either up on the board. But here's a low pass, a screen, completed and out of bounds. And that will be now 1st and goal, it appears, for the Mustangs. So some issues there with the chains and spotting it a little bit, and now it's going to be 3rd and 1. So a reminder that this trip to the Red Zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Here's a snap, a little high for Beard. Beard hands it off. Not much room at all for Belvin. Swallowed up in the backfield. 4th and short. So Dom, on the road, the Mustangs playing aggressive. They're going to keep the offense out on the field. 4th and 1 from the 5-yard line.
Cole, I have a 3-star recruit, number 73, Colin Van Roof. I'm the offensive coordinator. I go right behind him with my running back, and he's going to lead me to the promised land.
Instead, with the quarterback, Nolan Beard stretching forward, and I think that is close right there. We'll see exactly where they spot it here on 4th down. I think they might have to bring the chain gang out and measure this one because that is right at the line of scrimmage. There is what looks like a penalty marker down as well in the end zone. So we'll see what the call is from the officials as well.
There's a chain gang.
And it looks like that penalty marker has been picked up.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, number 30 on the offense.
Going to stretch the chains out here, and that's what counts. Oh, that's close.
And Strongsville just got it. Just by the nose of the football. 1st down for Strongsville.
And they're still talking about it. I think it's that close where they still don't know.
And now, after picking that up and picking up the 1st down, now will be 1st down as they have to move the ball back for the unsportsmanlike penalty, that dead ball penalty. So fortunate for Strongsville. Obviously, you keep the offense going. You keep possession of the ball. You don't turn it over on downs. But now you have to back up when you would have been right down inside the 5.
Here's what the nice thing is about that penalty. You still have the chains out there. Sometimes there's penalties where you get moved back and it's like 20 and goal. That's not the case here. Basically just a fresh red zone opportunity.
Man open and dropped. Beard throws that one to Cox on the slant. It was a little low and behind him, and Cox unable to haul it in. If he could have caught that one, the end zone was right there for him. No safety back deep for Medina.
The protection's there, the route's there, and the ball drops to the ground. Oh, as an offensive lineman, I know when I was playing, I would just bend over for a second, think, oh, what could have been? Everything was there. He was wide open. He did everything he could to have that opportunity to get the ball, and the ball drops on the ground. Those are moments that hurt, but you can make up for it here as it is 2nd and 10 on your own, or on Medina's 20.
8.5 minutes still left to go. Beard. A little bit of pressure. Moving. Has a man wide open. It's McIntyre. McIntyre hauls that one in. Gets both feet inbounds in the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs.
That was actually a broken route. He went out to the flats there, part of some combination. I didn't see fully what the route tree was there for the three wide receivers. But what we saw there was a broken route, was in the flats. There was a defensive back right on him looking at Beard and went right to the corner of the end zone. Santonio Hone's toe tap right on the pylon as the kicker falls but makes it, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. That is why you practice broken plays as a wide receiver and quarterback. What do we do if he's holding the ball and we already ran our route? That's what you do. You go to the end zone, you wave your hands sporadically, boom, touchdown.
That low line drive PAT was up and good. Now 21-7 in favor of the visitors. Talked about that scrambling ability as Beard saw a little bit of pressure coming at him, so he got out of the pocket, rolled to his left, had a wide open senior receiver, Case McIntyre, corner of the end zone, and you talked about it, the toe tap. That one would have been good at all levels of football. He got both feet in the corner of the end zone, and that's what happens when you take advantage of the long, very long receiver, and McIntyre was able to stretch for that and made that look very, very easy.
And that's not an ability a lot of young wide receivers have at the high school level, is knowing exactly where you are in the field to know, hey, where do I put my toes? You know, where's the out of bounds, where's inbounds, where's the end zone? He was able to calculate that all at once, very quickly. Boom, touchdown. That's beautiful awareness there by a young quarterback and a wide receiver.
So now trading touchdowns back and forth, these two teams going at it tonight. This kick deep into the end zone, touchback, and Stoddard in the offense return. So the Battling Bees will bring the offense out to the 20-yard line. That's where they'll begin this drive. The last drive for them did result in 7 points, exactly what they needed to bounce back. But Strongsville responding once again. So impressed with the way they've been playing. But have to say, the Battling Bees started figuring something out the last drive. Running the ball with Stoddard was very effective. We'll see if they run again here on this first play. Trips left. Scram joins Stoddard in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to their talented wide receiver. Finds just a little bit of a room there, but quickly brought down by some white jerseys. Stoddard in the gun. Scram still in the backfield with him. Back to pass. Rolling out, looking down the field, finds his intended receiver. That one's a first down. Barreling through a Strongsville defender and out of bounds. Nice catch and nice run after the catch for Carlos Corchado.
Strongsville still having that defense where they're only rushing 2. They have a linebacker kind of lurking there, but I wouldn't call him a down lineman. He does fill up the box, though. They have 4 people in the box. That's unbelievable.
Back to 5 wide for Medina. Stoddard on the snap, looking to run. Pushing forward past the 40-yard line. Spot him down at the 41. Gain of 5.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said earlier. Keep running the ball with your quarterback. You know, bring one of your wide receivers over, rush with them. I don't mind that as well. But make them add more people. You have 3 people there, and you have a linebacker kind of showing that he's going to show some pressure here. It's when you call an audible and pass now. Medina has Strongsville defense exactly where they want him right now.
Stoddard, some room to run. Brought down, and it will set up a 3rd down after a gain of 3 yards. You
know, credit to the Strongsville fans right now in the student section. doing a very good job supporting this team right now as they're trying to pull off a good upset here, just the second quarter of play.
Stoddard looking over to the sideline, getting the call in, taking his time, trips left. Empty set in the backfield. Stoddard on the move, finds Cordado once again, makes a man miss in the open field, past the 40, down to the 36 on the Mustang side of the field. Excellent run after the catch once again for Corchado.
Big burst of speed there by Corchado. Really able to show how fast he is. Surrounded there by Mustang defenders. Still able to make some room for himself.
Stoddard thought he was going to go deep there, instead decides to run and popped up the middle. What a hit. I don't think he saw Michael Novak there, and the big linebacker blew him up.
You know, Michael Novak's becoming one of my favorite players that we cover right now. He's really just doing it all here. I mean, he's lurking there. He's a big kid, but really showed some force there on the tackle.
2nd and 11 from the 38-yard line. Stoddard rolling to his right. On the run, nearly an interception. Wow. Was looking for Scram, and I just think he looked right past the Strongsville defender, and Nate Mackey taken off guard. I don't think he even expected that one to come. Hit him basically on the side, and he was unable to come up with the interception. Dangerous throw from Stoddard. 3rd and 11 from the 38. Corchado in motion to the left-hand side.
Screen.
A screen over the middle, and this one going absolutely nowhere, and there's your guy, Michael Novak.
Well, that's a kid I wish I could have played high school football with. I mean, the energy, able to sniff out a screen there. I mean, this kid has all the intangibles here on defense. Really just aware of what's happening. Beautiful, beautiful play.
So on 4th and 14, the offense stays on the field. Stoddard back to pass. He wants this. Finds Corchado, and that is going to be a first down. What a gutsy call and a huge play for the Battling Bees. Man, Dom, did they need that. Move the chains again.
Oh, you know, big time. I was kind of shocked. How is this happening right now? Worked out for him. Trust your team, good things will happen. And that's exactly what Medina did.
5 wide once again. Stoddard has all the time in the world. He's able to find his receiver, and Wojak to the end zone. Touchdown, Battling Bees. 2 big plays back to back, and they are pulling this one tighter once again.
This is a team that is resilient. They're not going to give up because 2-3 bad things happen. They trust each other. This is a team that goes through a lot throughout the season. They've gone through, you know, a close loss and some big victories. They are battle tested. They believe that they can fight back. And that's exactly what they're doing. We're seeing a Medina team that's saying, we're not going to accept this upset today. We're going to keep battling. We're going to keep fighting and see what happens. Right now, they're once again 1 score away from tying the game up, but you have a Strongsville offense. They've been impressive today.
So following the PAT makes the score 21-14 in favor of the Mustangs, and they will receive the ball, put their offense out on the field with just under 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Could be a huge development in this game if they're able to take a long, methodical drive, get down the field, score a touchdown, or even get a field goal, put points up on the board. Why? Remember, Strongsville kicked the ball off to start this game. They will receive out of the halftime break. This could be a big swing for them, again, if they can eat clock away here towards the latter stages of the second quarter.
This best case scenario, when you find out that you're going to be kicking to start off the game, you can kind of do a back-to-backer here on points and really make the Medina crowd a little scared on what the result can be. But first thing first, can you drain the clock? Second thing, can you score in this possession? You have a two-possession lead. Can you score when you get the ball half? A lot of things have to happen in the ways of Strongsville Again, this is a good Medina team. They can stop them here and get the ball back quick before the half ends.
High end over end kick. A stumble there from Cox as he goes to ground and is taken down just out past the 15-yard line. A little bit awkward there for the receiver. I think he's a little bit disappointed that he stumbled and lost his footing. So a long field ahead of the Strongsville offense, but this could work in their favor if they can, like I said, little by little move down the field and really drain clock here before halftime. Want to once again thanks everybody for watching and listening here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That will help us continue to grow and continue to increase our coverage here in Northeast Ohio. Here's a handoff up the middle on the first play of this drive. A little bit of room. Nice carry following the big blockers there for Belvin. Second and 6 now from the 22. McIntyre and Knopf out to the left. Quick pass out to Knopf. Has some space. Gets out past the first down marker. Some tough running. And move the chains again for the Mustangs. Nice play call. And the Mustangs are having a lot of success offensively, Dom, with getting the ball out of Nolan Beard's hands quickly. But the yards after catch have been quite impressive here tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job getting the ball, making sure they're catching it, and then boom, turning real quick, getting positive yards.
Here's a keeper for Beard. Slides down at the 40-yard line is where he started that slide. Smart play by the quarterback. Maybe not the fastest guy out there on the field, but good gain on that run.
And sometimes you don't need to really be fast. You kind of just need to be aware of what's going on, be a little shifty, have good footwork. Well, that can make a good rusher there in the backfield as a quarterback.
Yeah, and the intelligence from the sophomore there to slide down and avoid taking the hit. Here's a handoff to Belvin. Belvin spins out of that tackle, and that surge forward after the spin gets him past the first down marker again and putting together a nice little drive here.
Already 3:25 left and the clock is rolling. I like the running, a little bit more running than I think they kind of want to. I think they really like passing the ball. They really like what they have in Nolan Beard, the sophomore quarterback with a lot of promise. One thing I'm not a big fan of is how they do take the running back out. It kind of shows, hey, Belvin's out wide. We might throw the ball to him or we might throw the ball in his area.
Well, Belvin's now in motion. This one sailed high. Oh, wow, nearly an interception, but took a fortunate bounce for the Strongsville. Nearly fell into the lap of Knopf, and if Knopf could have hauled that one in, he would have been off to the races.
There was a lot of from right below us to way across in front of us. You almost couldn't predict what was going on if you were just listening to the crowd there. Well, a lot of emotions just ran through the stadium really quickly.
Game of hot potato right there.
Both teams lost that game of hot potato.
Under 3 minutes left to go as the clock has stopped. Hand off to Belvin. Belvin, not much room at all. Met in the backfield.
Handoff to number 47, Xavier Belvin. He's brought down in the backfield.
Something that I had actually mentioned to Brandon as we got here, Dom. We have been blessed with some very nice weather through the first 5 weeks. Obviously, we know it's going to get colder as the season goes on, but everything's been pretty much clear skies. We haven't faced really any rain these first 5 weeks. It's been a beautiful start to the season. Once again, a beautiful night tonight. Here on the move is Beard. Beard throws that one high and just out of bounds. Smart play by the quarterback. Lets his team live to see another day, though that does set up fourth down, and now the punting unit on to the field for the Mustangs. So not necessarily exactly what you wanted to go down the field, drain that clock down and put points up on the board, but it did drain some time off, but you would think 2 minutes is still plenty of time for an explosive Medina offense. And that kick, the punch shanks off of the outside of the foot there and just barely gets past that 45-yard line. So unfortunate for the Mustangs, and they need their defense to show up big here. The last thing they want to have happen is go into the locker room tied up when you have really deserved to be leading going into the locker room in this first half.
You know, we could see a halftime adjustment for this defensive line if that does happen. I don't think they'll change anything here with only about 2 minutes left to play here in the half. But we could see a little bit of change of adjustment where they do truly add 3 pass rushes instead of 2, kind of make it a little bit more of a run-stopping attack. But there's not really a little middle linebacker here in this formation on defense.
Stoddard back to pass, only 2 rushers for Medina. For Strongsville. That one up in the air and nearly hauled in. The leap and the effort there from Jack Wojak and falls incomplete. But yeah, Strongsville only sending two down linemen going after Stoddard. They dropped 9 into coverage. I think that's how you have to play Medina at times, especially when you have the lead.
You know, and teams that fail to adjust to that usually get slaughtered by this Medina offense.
Here's a run by Stoddard up the middle and a very physical tackle. There's Novak, throws down the quarterback.
So if you're Strongsville and you get a stop here, I would call a timeout. Not right now because they get the first down. You don't want to give them 150, 140 to play with. If they can get a stop here, and if it's an incomplete pass, you don't even have to call one. That could be the game plan here for Strongsville. Might have one shot at this still.
Stoddard looking over the middle, sails that one high and complete, so that does stop the clock. It will now be 4th down, and this is a decision-making time now for Medina. You're on your side of the field. Here on 4th down, if you go for it, if you turn over the ball, it's a short field for Strongsville to work with. But a gutsy call they had on the last drive, and they're going to do it again, it almost looks like. Keep in mind, Medina does have 3 timeouts, so possibly they could try to draw Strongsville offsides, get them to jump to make this shorter yardage on 4th down for them. Play clock now down to 4, down to 3. They are going to snap it. They're going for it. Stoddard has plenty of time, looking for Corchado. And actually, that's Brennan Scram. Past the first down marker, move the chains again. What a gutsy call for Medina. That is 2 drives in a row on 4th down. They converted. Now going quickly, Stoddard. Back to pass, looking down the field. Nice tight coverage, coming back to the ball, and that one slips through the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete. This game has had it all, Dom. It's been interesting.
This is probably, I think, one of the more fun games that we've had. You know, last year you look back at we had the Avon Lake game. It was probably the best game we had all year last year. This game is right up that alley there. Believe it or not, better offense in this game than we saw last year in that Civil Rail rivalry. This could be one of the better games that we've seen together, Cole.
Stoddard looking to the near sideline. He's got a man. He finds him. That's complete. Looks like the knee was already down. Continue to run after, and the whistle blows that one dead. Cameron Hathaway hauling that one in. Clock continues to tick down to 50 seconds. Still 3 timeouts for the Bees. And it looks like they're going to use that first timeout. 3rd and 1 from the 36. As soon as we get back here from this timeout, and Dom, you talked about it, this has been a really fun one tonight. It has been interesting. I don't think most people probably thought coming into this one that Strongsville would put up such a tough fight, because we knew it was going to be tough to stop the offense of Medina in the first 2 drives. They forced turnovers, and that set the tone for this game.
Yeah, they're optimizing opportunities by taking away opportunities of Medina. The Strongsville team that just has been strong on defense, and the Medina team that's kind of making up for a lackluster start.
Well, and also you and I, our interaction with Strongsville so far this year was against, like we talked about, a tough Shoreman defense, and they really didn't get much of anything going aside from really their first drive of the game. So to see them come out offensively as well and do what they've done, that has been impressive for the Mustangs. And of course, we'll see that offense back on the field here after halftime. 3rd and 1 from the 36. Following the timeout, Medina needing the first down. Stoddard looking back to pass. This one's dangerous. Nearly intercepted. That one closer to 2 white jerseys. And then it was a green jersey, and really thought that Boogie Griffin was going to make that play. Instead, harmlessly, somehow miraculously harmlessly falls to the floor. 4th and 1 from the 36. Of course, Medina going to go for this. Last 2 4th downs they faced were much longer, and they were able to convert. There's movement up front. Getting a little over antsy, and the defense jumps. Unfortunate there for Dalton Bickhart. First down for Medina.
Nice little hard count there. That's why you practice it so often. It can work out in your advantage in these close games. You know, sometimes when you have a team that's really trying to prove themselves on defense, that hard count can really get that defense to jump.
1st and 10 from the 31. 42 seconds on the clock. 5 wide for Medina. Stoddard back to pass. Looking over the middle. Into tight coverage. Off of the fingertips of the safety coming forward to make the play. Brody Kraus nearly making the interception there. And Stoddard has not been afraid to put the ball in some tight windows. And he has been fortunate that he hasn't thrown a few more picks tonight.
You know, he shouldn't be scared. He knows what he can do. He believes in the ability in his wide receivers. Put that ball in that tight space, see what happens. I mean, you're a talented quarterback. If you trust that you can fit into that tight window, do it. That coaching staff obviously has confidence in him. Let it rip, throw the ball in the tight spot, and see what can happen.
4 receivers to the far side of the field. Instead, Stoddard looking to his left. Man coming across the middle. That one is complete. Not a ton of yards, though, for Scram, but he does get out of bounds. Timeout for Medina. They're going to talk this one over. Still have 24 seconds in the second quarter. So, Dom, I'm sure we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the second half, but tomorrow, we talked about the mat coverage that you've been doing. Tomorrow you got a decent road trip coming up for you. Tell everybody out there where you are going for mat coverage tomorrow.
I'll be heading out to Western Michigan. The Broncos, they take on number 22, 23, around there. They were one of the 20s in the country as the Pitt Panthers come in town. So they visit Kalamazoo. The Broncos can pull off an upset tomorrow. Cool, I'm pretty confident. That's coming from a guy that used to be a Pitt fan. Now I'm an unbiased media member of the MAC conference. But no, but this is an exciting game tomorrow. I'm excited to see what Kalamazoo has to offer.
I have seen your tweets about thinking there might be an upset tomorrow, so everybody watch out for that. Dom's story will be on KeonSports.com. Back out on the field on 3rd and 6. Stoddard back to pass. Into tight coverage, and there was some contact right before that ball got there. Again, looked like it was incidental contact, and the officials say no flag there, just call it incomplete. Tight coverage by Brandon Cox coming forward.
And I didn't hear much of like an argument there from any sides. Both players were making a move on the ball. Yeah, they made contact. You don't see that too often where there's an obvious accidental contact and they let it play.
Medina has been magicians on 4th down. So with a 4th and 6 from the 27, there's some whistles. And this is going to be a timeout. Strongsville defense wants to talk it over.
Good timeout. That defense was confused. You had a cornerback on the wrong, or safety on the wrong side, ran over. There was motion. A cornerback had to step up. It wasn't his responsibility, I believe, to cover that wide receiver. Said, hey, I got him. Linebacker was all over the place. You didn't have somebody covering the one part of the line. Calm down. I just said a lot, so I can't imagine how much they were processing that. Just relax. Let's get back into the defense that slowed them down, and it's worked for us. Let's get back into the groove. That's a good timeout there by the defense.
Yeah, you timeouts to burn. You can't necessarily pocket your timeouts and take them into the second half. So why not use it there? Why risk giving up a first down when this could be a really big, crucial stop. Again, you want to go into the locker room with that lead if possible. Going to be interesting as Medina's offense returns back out on the field. I'm sure Strongsville has things sorted out following that timeout. 4th and 6 from the 27, as I mentioned as well. 18 seconds left. So when you think about it, still time for about 3 plays. But Medina, they need to worry about this one here. Movement. And I think this is going to be a false start on Medina and back them up.
That's just, in a moment like this, you can't do that. You cannot move when it is 4th and 6, or what is it? 4th and 6. You just cannot have that movement. That's going to move you back. You have a Strongsville crowd that's really into it. I understand that. The cowbells are going. Me and you are yelling in the press box. There's a lot of noise right now. This offense, you have to trust the count. You can't move. Now you're back even further. They say 1st and 10, but it's about a 4th and 10 now. This is not a position that you want to put yourself in right there. Someone's going to get yelled at there in that huddle.
No, and we mentioned that. We talked about the crowds here. Obviously, that Medina side full in their student section, but Strongsville traveled very well here for this conference game. This side is rocking right now. These bleachers have been shaking, and they have been on their feet for their defense. As soon as that defense returns out on the field here for this big 4th down, we're going to see them get loud once again.
You know, every play you hear the supporters, the parents, the students, just how excited they are to see this team compete. You had a disappointing loss last week. You know, what would you say it was? 10-0 to Solon, a team
right.
that you kind of thought that, you know, this is a Mustangs team that could beat that Solon team. That wasn't the case. Usually you keep on going down the slope, but right now they're climbing back up on that mountaintop. This is a good game to be competitive in.
Here's the cowbells once again. A big 4th down. Pressure in the face of Stoddard. He steps up. He's launching this towards the end zone. He's got a guy. The jump.
Wow.
The catch. Knowles. Touchdown.
Cool, this game is insane. He just jumped over essentially 3 Mustang defenders with how much time is even left on the clock? Seconds at the most. And now we have a potential tie ball game in a game where it looked like the Mustangs had full control. Now the Battling Bees are doing exactly what their name describes, and they're battling to the bitter end of this half. 11 seconds left.
PAT up and good, and we have a tie ball game with 11 seconds remaining. And when you need a big play, Dan Stoddard steps up, launching that one to Austin Knowles. And we talked about Scram. I mentioned how talented Knowles is as well. The junior receiver coming in tonight prior to the game today had 35 receptions for 591 yards, 7 touchdowns himself. Give him another touchdown. What an impressive play. Mossed his defender there. Huge, huge swing of momentum for the Battling Bees at home. That's exactly what they needed.
You know, great teams battle back in the face of adversity. I've been on teams that went undefeated. Well, 2 weeks in a row, we faced a hill that we were down 14-0. This reminds me of that. A high-powered offense that's able to come together. Hey, this team's playing the best that they've played so far this year. We're not playing our best right now. Let's do everything we can to keep on fighting. Now you have a student section. Their energy's back up. Strongsville student section a little shocked right now. You know, a few good things happen for them, and then boom, a touchdown. But right now, get the ball, take a knee, get in the half. You have the ball back. You can still control things from there. But you kind of got to get back and relook at that game plan you had on defense. It worked well. Now it's a tie ball game. Things could change a little bit. We could see a completely different ball game for the second half, Cole.
If I'm Medina, I'd think about maybe squibbing this one here, not sending it deep to Cox.
I have to agree with you on that one, Cole.
And there is that squib, and takes a bounce and dives on that one. Strongsville make sure that they keep possession there. Covering that one up, Jaden Shepard. Now only 9 seconds remaining, and if you're Strongsville, I would almost think here, yeah, disappointed that you're not going to go into the locker room leading when you really were the better team through the first half, but a lot of credit to the Battling Bees for fighting back. This one all tied up. You're going to get the ball back here in the start of the second half. Bring the offense right back out onto the field. So I agree with you. Just take the knee, go to the locker room, just talk things over. You've done a lot right. Make sure you got the mindset to come out and keep doing what you've been doing. And we see the formation out there for the knee. And they're going to take one knee. And that will do it here for the first half. So the half comes at a tie ball game of 21-21. We have a thriller on our hands tonight. Again, Cole McDaniel alongside Dom Clary. We're going to step away for halftime. Brandon Soder will be joining you for the halftime show.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Car Parts Warehouse. If your car is in need of repairs, then the first place you need to call is Car Parts Warehouse. They cut out the middlemen and bring the service right to you. Find them online at carpartswarehouse.net. Cleveland Bakery Collective not only focuses on bringing together some of the best food and flavors in the Cleveland area, but creating a collaborative and supportive environment where local food artists can prepare, produce, store, and sell their delicious products all in one convenient location. Check them out online at clevelandbakerycollective.com. And welcome back to Medina. We are at halftime. You're listening to the Key on Sports halftime show, week 5 of our high school football game of the week series, and boy, do we have something special on tap tonight. The Strongsville Mustangs traveling into Medina to take on the Battling Bees, and we are all locked up at 21 apiece. So to start things off, Medina definitely favored coming into this matchup, only losing one game this year, albeit to Avon on a last-second 2-point attempt. Strongsville had other ideas, though. Quick interception right off the rip. Medina tried getting a little bit tricky. Had a wide receiver pass get intercepted. Strongsville took advantage of that, drove right down the field to put up 7. Then Bees came right back at it, tried to get their offense going, but it was a deep pass once again intercepted by the Mustangs. Drive it down the field once more, 14-0 Strongsville. It was about midway through the first quarter, but the Medina Battling Bees were going to hang into this one, putting a quick 7 up on the board, and went into the second quarter down 14-7. Then Strongsville, right at the start of the second quarter, again methodically being able to drive down the field. Medina struggled to find an answer to stop that Mustangs offense, especially early in this game. Went up 21-14, but Medina again, one more shot at it. Had a late drive in the second quarter, just 11 seconds left. A nice, beautiful deep pass right up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown for Medina, and that leads us now at halftime. Strongsville will receive the kick to start off quarter number 3. But an amazing game so far. Strongsville really hoping to hang in there and pull the upset tonight, but Medina doing an amazing job hanging in. It's only going to get better from here, folks, so make sure you stick around. If you're watching on YouTube, keep in mind, we always have a Back Attack Snacks player of the game. This is the time. Both teams are tied right now. It can go either way. If there's a player that you think needs to be honored tonight, put that in the comments. Let us know. A lot of amazing performances tonight from Strongsville and Medina. So like I said, those votes matter. Get those comments in there. Let us know where you think that should go. Speaking of YouTube, if you're watching right now, make sure that you subscribe, especially if you are a Medina fan. Week 7, so 2 weeks from now, we'll be right back here when Medina hosts Menor. So hit that subscribe button right now to make sure that you get the notifications sent when we go live. Again, set to be another amazing game. Menor are a very strong team coming in this year. So make sure you subscribe so you are ready for that one. And last thing, folks, keyonsports.com. Make sure, once the night wraps up, if you need to catch up on all Northeast Ohio high school football action, that is the destination for you. Nobody covers high school football like Key on Sports. Just under 30 games on our docket this week, where we have a writer out and ready to recap and give you all the information you need We are the premier source for high school football scores in the state. So again, folks, all tied up heading into quarter number 3. Strongsville 21, Medina 21. Thanks for listening to the Key on Sports Halftime Show. We'll be back for quarter number 3. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Cleveland Fitness Club. They have it all: bikes, tracks, courts, and even pools. They truly have something for everyone and are open 365 days a year. You can visit them today at 6600 West 130th Street in Middleburg Heights. Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Dick Esser Plumbing. Get exceptional plumbing repairs and installations for your commercial property from the experienced professionals at Dick Esser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. They provide honest services and quality workmanship. You can find out more about them today at dickesserplumbing.com. Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted. Great Lakes Training. Great Lakes Basketball caters to athletes of all ages and experience levels with a wide variety of training techniques. Book your first session today at www.greatlakesbasketball.com or email Coach J at coachj@greatlakesbasketball.com. Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a trusted member of the auto community for over 20 years, and he will treat you right no matter your car buying need. Hinckley Roofing. They are your first choice in commercial and residential roofing. This family-run company has been around for 50 years and is your first choice in trusted roofing needs. You can find them online today at hinkleyroofing.com or call them at 330-273-2979. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare insurance, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or give them a call at 330-304-7267. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Jerome, Grauer, and Associates. They handle estate planning and their steps are so simple. They handle everything from simple wills to complex trust planning. Contact them today for your legal needs at 216-241-9990 or check them out online at jeromelaw.com. Julie Dangerfield of Keller Williams Realty. Julie has the experience, knowledge, and determination to get the job done. Contact her at 440-309-0396 or by email at julieand222@gmail.com for a complimentary market analysis of your home value today. Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Makeaway Dumpster. At Makeaway, customers get discounts on days and prices. They offer 24-hour delivery in most cases, along with 10, 15, 20, and 25 cubic yard containers. With Makeaway, there are no hidden charges for drop-off, pickup, or wait. Find them at makeawaydumpsterrental.com. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Play CLE. Play CLE is the ultimate indoor adventure park in Northeast Ohio. With zip lining, ninja obstacle courses, climbing walls, and the area's largest indoor ropes course, Play CLE is the best option to get inside and have some fun and adventure. It's the perfect place for your next team building event, birthday party, or field trip. With an on-site bar and kitchen, Play CLE makes sure you are properly fueled to reach new heights. To learn more, visit playadventureparks.com or stop by the facility in Avon off 611 and Chester. Salad Craze. Looking to eat healthy and go away happy? Try Salad Craze. They have been voted Cleveland's healthiest restaurant 4 years in a row. Stop in for yourself and find out why at 690 Avon Belden Road in Avon Lake. You can check out their menu at saladcraze.com.
occupied South Korea. As of this afternoon, when this script was being written, this next tune had just over 800 million views on YouTube. Apparently, K-pop is a thing. Please enjoy Butter. The musical bees would like to thank all their friends, family, and community members for their generosity and continued support.
And we're back as we're about to start the second half of the Keon Sports Game of the Week. Cole McDaniel alongside Dom Clary. Again, thanks to Brandon Soder for doing the halftime show. Everybody watching and listening, again, thanks for tuning into this. Also, if you watch the playback on this video and you watch this, whether that's later tonight, tomorrow, sometime later this weekend, enjoy, because it was a fun first half. This is about perfect tonight for the Keon Sports Game of the Week. Dom, we touched on it a little bit at the end of the first half, how back and forth it was, how Strongsville really came out and punched the Battling Bees in the mouth. But Medina responded very well, especially when their backs were up against the wall multiple times on fourth down, coming up with big plays. How, if you're Strongsville, can you come back out and play with that same intensity from the start of the game?
So that locker room talk for the Mustangs wasn't what they did wrong. It was, we're doing what we thought we could do. This is what we game planned for, was a tight-knit game. They didn't think they were going to come in here and blow the doors off. Actually, the way they did, but they didn't think that they were going to run away with this game. They thought if we win this game, it's going to be because we're controlling the ball in the air. It's because we're having the passing attack that we want, short passes with good, yards after catch. That's the type of game that we want to play, and it's working for us. Just need a few more stops. So if you're Strongsville, you almost just keep with that game plan. Maybe a defense adjustment here or there. On offense, if there's something that you see that you can advance on, move on from that point. But I wouldn't even change too much here if you're Strongsville, because they're doing everything that they've needed to do, and there's a little confusion of where they're supposed to be on the side of the ball. But keep playing the way you are and keep playing excited. This is an upset that is possible for you guys and put you right back in the mix of things for your conference. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, and Dom, if you're Medina, obviously you have to feel pretty good about the fact that despite coming out and really struggling at the very beginning and finding yourself down, you managed to continue to fight back. And I talked about all those fourth downs they were converting on. I'll tell you what, I mean, you can't really necessarily say a team is on the ropes in the first half, but when you feel like, I don't know if you can do it, multiple of those fourth downs, especially the long ones, felt, I don't know, this could be a game-deciding play, and they kept converting over and over again. So if you're Medina, despite the tough start you had, you have to feel pretty good about getting this one level right before halftime.
It's almost a clean slate, right? It's almost, hey, we were down by 2 scores. Now it's basically 0-0. Let's play our game.
Kickoff from right to left for the Battling Bees, fielded by Cox for Strongsville. He gets out past the 20-yard line, up near the 25, spot him down at the 24, and that's where Nolan Beard and the Mustangs come out on the field for the first drive of the second half, and the sophomore quarterback, a lot of credit to him. He's performed well tonight. I'll also mention the Battling Bees defense as they come out onto the field. Last 3 games coming into the night, they had given up 99 points combined. It was a matter of could they stop the Mustangs from scoring. So far, they haven't. But this could be really a pivotal moment for their defense if they can get a stop here on the first drive of the half. Beard, the quick pass into the flats to his receiver. Some room for Knopf after the catch. And he really just gets back about to the line of scrimmage there, and that's going to be a 2nd and long now.
It's a good job there by Knopf to make sure that he didn't fall there behind the line of scrimmage. Had to take out one of his own men there. We see a sub coming in. That's Xavier Belvin. Big running back there. He's done some good things there to start, but kind of slowed down. So they really minimized his usage. As Medina's played some good defense.
We'll see if they give it to Belvin, and they do up the middle. Gets out past the 25, down at the 26. So only a pickup of 3 there. Now 3rd and 8. So after 2 plays, a little bit methodical, a little bit slow for the Mustangs. We talked about it over the break. It's tough in the second half to come out with the same intensity. A lot of times in high school football, you see the first half and the second half look very different. But if you're Strongsville, you want to get this 3rd down conversion here. A lot of pressure. Beard's able to escape it. Rolling out to his left, delivering a long throw down the sideline, and that one takes a skip in front of McIntyre. Incomplete. 4th down, and the punting unit onto the field.
Not the first possession you wanted. Now you need your defense to come up big they were really good the first 2 possessions, but kind of struggled to slow down this Medina defense as they given up, I believe, 3 straight touchdowns after. No, that's incorrect. But they did. They were able to. They gave up 3 touchdowns. Pardon me. That third down punt kind of messed with me there.
Another punt that's shanked off of the outside of the foot. Lots of contact there in the backfield, though, and the penalty marker flies up in the air. And it looks like we'll wait the call here, but obviously the kicker was contacted there, and it's going to be against the Battling Bees. It's just a matter of, is it roughing? Is it running into the kicker?
We have running into the kicker on the receiving team, number 8.
There you have it. It is running into the kicker, so a 5-yard penalty. That will keep it 4th down. Now I'll talk with the coaching staff here for Strongsville. Again, officials just sorting this out right now on the field. That would have been actually really solid field position for Medina, obviously if they didn't run into the kicker there, because that's the second punt we've seen in a row, shanked off of the outside of the right foot, just getting past the 50-yard line. So it would have been really nice for Medina to start from that spot on the field. Long talk over here on the near sideline.
I think he's arguing the call there, saying that that was not a running into a kicker. That was more intentional than I think it was. I think that running into the kicker, maybe it was a spotting issue, but figured it out here.
Okay, and now 4th down again, got everything sorted out, so you're going to see Strongsville attempt to punt this one away. Once again, no returner back now for the Battling Bees.
I like that. They're playing the fake here. Strongsville's a lot to play here for. Great punt.
And this one, a much better punt.
Oh, and it rolls.
And this one's down inside the 10, and it's going to stop really just right about the 10-yard line, and that is just a gorgeous punt. Talked about the 2 back-to-back shanked off the outside of the foot. Got all of that one, and the favorable Mustangs hop. 90 yards to go to the front of the goal line there for the Battling Bees. And that Strongsville Mustangs defense has been very impressive. Yeah, they've given up 21 points, but they've made things difficult on a high-powered, explosive offense.
They've been there in a lot of occasions, breaking up passes, 2 interceptions. This defense has really been everywhere. It was the addition of the run attack that kind of threw them for a spin. But let's see any adjustments they make. They have the same defense with only 2 down linemen on one side of the ball here.
Trips right, Stoddard back to pass, looking to his right, scanning the field, now getting out of the pocket, motioning downfield. He's going to cut back and look to run. He's going to get some positive yards, tripped up from behind and down at the 19-yard line. Stoddard is elusive when needs to be, when he is needed. Mentioned that he is the leading rusher for the team, and we've seen him be effective on his feet this evening. Second and 1 now. 9 minutes left in the third quarter, still knotted up at 21 all. Stoddard back to pass. A little bit of pressure. If he can evade it, no he cannot. Wrapped up and brought down from behind. And that one's just gonna move the chains. Got to the 20-yard line, barely making it there, but first down now for the Battling Bees.
I just can't believe how many defensive backs are in the game. It is just remarkable how a high school team can kind of say, hey, we're doing something a little different. We need you defensive backs don't normally play to play.
Keeper for Stoddard, running up the middle, diving past the 30-yard line.
Stoddard again, the ball carrier, picks up the first down.
Like the play call there.
He's 31
Only need one play to pick up another first down. Medina's offense moving, and they're going to run it again. Stoddard room up the middle once again, and taking advantage of no linebackers really hovering over that middle of the field and all the DBs out there trying to defend the pass of Medina.
Now I wonder, get a little curious here. When does Strongsville say, okay, they're not passing anymore. When do we add that second down lineman? Or is there ever a time when you do that? I mean, there's no one in the middle of the field for you. You only have 3 people, not including the safety who's 20 yards back. It's interesting. Makes you really think here. I mean, you have two DBs there where there's only one wide receiver.
1st and 10 from the 43. Stoddard to the far side of the field. Little double move there for Scram, and that one sails high and wide from Stoddard, incomplete. 2nd down.
See, you gave up a few 2 in a row first downs off of one play. You got that 2nd down. Let's force a 3rd and long. Defense, we're back in business. Now you are going against a offense here that is going to go for it on 4th down. They trust in their quarterback.
A receiver in the backfield serving as a running back and gets the handoff. And really battling through some arm tackles there from Strongsville and finally brought down. That's Jack Wojak. Junior receivers seen some action here. Had a touchdown earlier in the game as well. That time getting the handoff, acting as a running back.
I like that. Now you have a running back in play. Looks like a pistol formation where the quarterback is like 12 yards back, nonetheless.
Stoddard, little slant to Scram. Scram showing off his speed and the ability that he has to the 15, breaking a tackle inside the 10. This is going to be 1st and goal. Medina, they haven't led tonight, and they're knocking on the door. Hurrying up quickly, the offense wants to go. From the 2-yard line, Stoddard wants a quick pass. That corner in the end zone, he's open. Delivers the throw. Jack Wojak, touchdown. Battling Bees, they take their first lead.
I think that's the first time that we've seen the Medina offense put the ball on the ground, give the ball to a running back, a little play action. That's the first time that we've seen that from them. And boy, it's the best that they've looked here today. Like I said, they're going to make Strongsville change that defense. I've seen it once or twice before. Now, if you're Strongsville, you have to make an adjustment. Question is, will they do it, or they so worry about that passing attack where they're afraid to remove two defensive backs?
PAT up and good. And Medina now holds a 28 to 21 advantage over the visiting Mustangs. We talked again at the beginning of the broadcast. This is the start of Greater Cleveland Conference play for Medina. Haven't played against any conference opponents yet. Strongsville starting off 0-1 in conference play. Fell last week to Solon. They're still in this against a team that they definitely came in on the road as the underdogs, and they have made a name for themselves here tonight. I think everybody's going to be paying attention to this score and paying attention to what the Mustangs can do. Now they're going to need Nolan Beard in their offense to get a good drive going and see if they can level this one up at 28 once again. Two back deep again for Strongsville. We've seen Brandon Cox be the main returner for them. He's usually been lined up on the near side of the field. Instead, he's on the far side. This one kicked to the near side again. Some room to run. Getting around the edge, past the 30-yard line. Cutting back and staying in bounds. Nice return there from Jeremiah Pleasant. 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter here from Ken Duke Stadium in Medina.
Big possession here. This can really determine how the second half is going to look. If we can see a Strongsville team that can get down and score, we're going to see exactly what we saw here in that first half. Let's see if they can continue with that momentum, that they built there in the first and second quarter.
Beard taking a look over to the sideline. And both teams had all 3 of their timeouts. The Mustangs go ahead and burn one. They'll have 2 remaining. Play clock was winding down.
Yeah, that's not promising there on the first play, calling a timeout. Everyone not where they need to be, kind of moving a little slow. Multiple reasons why that can happen. Now you got to tell your team, hey, forget it. We're okay using the timeout. Let's go down, score a touchdown. Here's the game plan.
And had to take that timeout to avoid a delay of game. And there should really never be a delay of game penalty when you're coming out of an intermission, a break. You're getting the team back onto the field, the offense, and they were just on the sideline. Kind of reminds me of, you remember at Happy Valley, that video of when Michigan, first play of the game on offense on that night of the whiteout. Again,
Mo Bamba. Yeah, Mo Bamba was a little too loud there for Michigan.
First play took a delay of game penalty.
What a moment that was.
It was a moment, that is for sure. Mentioned the great crowd out here tonight, some noise here in the stadium. We'll see what the Mustangs can do here on offense. A keeper for Beard, and there's only green jerseys in front of him, taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Battling Bees were swarming.
Might have to change the name to the Swarming Bees after that.
A loss of 3 on the quarterback keeper. Sets up a 2nd and 13 from the 30. Beard back to pass, pressure in his face. He evades the initial pressure and sails this one, intercepted. This one's going to be a pick 6. Medina scores. And credit to that initial pressure in the face of Beard. Got the sophomore quarterback panicking a little bit, and he sailed that one over the head of Belvin. Big pick 6, courtesy of number 3, Daniel Toth.
Wow, just complete flip now. It is the complete opposite of what we saw in that first half, where the team that could kick the ball will go up to a quick 2-score lead after the score being even. It's almost a replica, other than there was only 1 pick in the second half, and it was for a pick 6. Wow, this is a resilient team from Medina, just able to fight back after being down by 2 scores. Now they have a 2-score lead of their own.
34-21 awaiting the PAT. Now a 2-possession game. Medina, like you said, completely flipped the script as they found themselves down 2 scores early in this one tonight. PAT up and good. 35-21 Battling Bees. Obviously, I know you were an offensive lineman, not necessarily in the quarterback shoes, but still part of the offense. How is an offense, do you come back out, regather, regroup, and settle down as a team?
Well, that's an interesting question there. Usually, a lot of it depends on the score. If you're up, it's a different conversation. But when you're down and that's a touchdown, right now, get water, take a break. But first off, you want to go up to your quarterback, pat him on the back, and say, "It's right. You're going to make up for it." That's a thing that we used to say all the time when I played. Is, "Hey, you owe us one now," or "Hey, I owe you." Right now, Beard has to say, "Hey, I owe all 10 of you that are with me out there. Now it's time that we make up for it, get back within 1 score. We still have an opportunity. We still have a job to do here with, there's still tons of game left. I mean, we saw it there in the first half. Anything can happen. If you're Strongsville, do not give up. You're still playing good football here tonight.
Lots of time, as this one is an end-over-end kick. Cox returns it. Taking his time to find a hole, and he gets out past the 25. Only played half of the third quarter so far. 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the quarter. And after that pick six, the defense of the Battling Bees coming up big for their team. Strongsville need to change the tone on offense. They were moving the ball very well in the first half. Not much of anything yet here in the second half. We'll see how the sophomore quarterback responds. Belvin motions to the right of Beard. The handoff up the middle. Green jerseys quickly getting to Belvin.
Yeah, if I'm the defense right now, my strategy would be we're throwing as many people as humanly possible into the backfield without truly giving up our coverage. You can do that. You can throw 4 or 5 people back there and still have people covering.
Beard to pass, finds his intended target. A little bit of room to run here on the near side. Surging forward. Near the first down marker, it will move the chains. Nice throw and catch. And that was Hayden Genevi. Excuse me, actually, no, that was number 80. They're on Strongsville. Again, mentioned that didn't have an 80 on today's roster. Again, either Storm Miller or Johnny Hogg.
That does happen once a year.
It always manages to happen at least once. You were right, Dom. Surge forward on that handoff. Nice gain of 5 yards there for Strongsville. Chipping away.
I like this right now. You know, it took a little bit more to get that first down and there in the, get the chains moving once. But now now you have a 2nd and 5. There's so much you can do here. You could even take a shot here and still be in a good position for 3rd down. And maybe they'll do that. They don't have a running back in the backfield as Xavier Belvin. It's not back there with them.
Belvin lined up in the slot and said this a quick out near side of the field. That moves the chains on the completion. Looks like Nolan Beard settling in, getting comfortable once again on that completion there to Will Dasher.
I like that. So backside action, we saw a alley screen, and that was to move the defense. Then you had essentially like an out route to get the ball out there to your wide receiver. Who was that wide receiver? Will Dasher. That's a great name for a wide receiver, Dasher. Dashing towards the touchdown. But, you have that backside action with the alley screen. You have almost your entire offensive line other than 2, usually your backside guard or tackle stay with the quarterback. And then you have that front side action with the out route. That is beautiful football. That's how you can kind of utilize the tape in your favor. They've seen you use an alley screen before to get a wide receiver open with the lineman in front of them. Now you have the entire defense moving that way, and you have a wide receiver who's now 10 yards down the field, not by himself, but only one person to beat, and now you have a 10-yard gain. Just like that. That's a perfectly drawn play, and it was perfectly executed there by Strongsville.
Following 2 first downs for the Mustangs, the Battling Bees decide to take a timeout defensively, get some things sorted out. They will have 2 timeouts remaining. Again, both of these teams have 2 timeouts left. 1st and 10 from the Mustangs' 48-yard line. Trips left. Beard, little pump fake. Launches this one towards the sideline in the direction of McIntyre, the long receiver there, and McIntyre was looking to get his arms outstretched, haul that one in, and keep his toes in bounds. Instead, just maybe about a yard or 2 too far. Falls incomplete.
Like that. Another play that was kind of designed as it kind of looked like a screen. That's a fake screen there. Pump fake is designated in there. Get people to bite a little bit. The coverage should be a little bit more clear. if he kind of made that more of a line drive, maybe it would have fit. But that still, he's battling not just with the sideline, but with the safety as well. See what
Second
they
and
do
10.
here.
Beard to the far side. He wants it again. Oh, and nearly hauled in. It looked like he had Jeremiah Pleasant there on the far side. No, actually, excuse me, that was number 9, Jeremy Knopf. I thought he had him, and Knopf was looking that one in over his shoulder, and I think that one might have even touched his hand and just slipped through. Actually, a pretty good throw there from Beard.
That has to be hauled in, Cole. I think what was it? Lynn Swan said if it touches your hand, you should catch it. That's a little different when Lynn Swan says it, but that one does have to be caught there over the shoulder. You practice those almost every day.
Following 2 incompletions, 3rd and 10, Beard rolling to his right. He wants this one, launching it towards the end zone. Lots of contact, and this one hauled in inside the 5. Penalty markers down as the defensive back was draped all over the wide receiver. What an incredible grab there by Dasher. Whew, the strength of the receiver there, Dom.
Cole, I'm baffled right now. I'm still trying to calculate the yards right now. I believe that was nearly 50 yards. I mean, it can't be because it would have been a touchdown, but.
Yeah, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And a reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Beard takes a snap, handoff, and this one swallowed up. Green jerseys surrounding the ball carrier, Michael Novak, 2nd and goal. And Dom was talking about taking stats over here as well. A reminder that in addition to this game, of course being here for you to watch and listen to and play back on YouTube, you can also check out the written story, the recap article that Dom will post on this game on KeonSports.com. From the 5-yard line, Beard, the keeper up the middle, surging towards the end zone. It looks like he's going to be stopped just a little bit short. Got a couple yards there, following his blockers. 3rd and much more manageable. I think it's going to be at the 2. And it is.
Yeah, once again, they're running right behind Colin Van Roo, the pit commit. And that's exactly what I would do. I would even add maybe a tight end there. If I have to, put him in motion, take a little pressure off of them. They won't be able to do that here. Right
Novak, the lead blocker for Beard once again, and Beard stopped short, and the ball taken away from him, but I think this was blown dead before it was swiped out of the hands of the quarterback, Beard. 4th and goal.
If there's a goal line stop here, Cole, that student section might just explode. They're right now in the same end zone as that student section. And, I might have to go on the field, too, and run around if there's a stop here. Even if there's a touchdown, Cole, my headset might be in the ground in a second. Might be sprinting down there, celebrating with whoever does anything positive.
Late substitution. Beard rolling to his right. Needs to find somebody. He's going to take it. He's going to run. And he splits through the defense into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. Pulling this one back to a 1-possession game, Dom.
This sophomore quarterback is going to be a problem next year in not just this conference, not just in Northeast Ohio, but he's going to put the entire state on notice here tonight the way he's playing, Cole. We are seeing a breakout performance by a quarterback that we've seen have potential in that first game. We're not seeing potential, we're seeing results. He came back after having a hard possession, a pick 6, throws a 46-yard dot to put his team on the goal line and rushes one in. That's a resilient quarterback, and that's what any football player anyone would want to go to bat for right there. It's a fantastic football player, a fantastic drive, and this team has the momentum back. Yes, they're down by 1, but now they believe that they can get back in here and tie the game and take the lead.
Bradley Whitecar slipped on the PAT, but still made it. And the penalty marker on the field was for encroachment going against the defending team, the Battling Bees. And so it's going to be Strongsville kicking away from the 40-yard line from left to right on your screen. And what a gutsy play there from Nolan Beard. Again, on 4th down, they're passing that one, needing to roll to his right. Nobody was open. And there were a bunch of green jerseys in front of him. He said, I'm going to just run. I'm going to put my head down. And he got hit at the 1-yard line, but was able to stretch his arm out and really just power in. Great play by the sophomore quarterback. And you mentioned it. There's a lot of room still to be able to develop. He's got a couple years to come, but he's putting people on watch, on notice. He has the ability, and he's proven it tonight.
He put us on notice, that's for sure.
This one fielded at the 5-yard line. Knowles trying to cut back, and he is taken down at the 13-yard line. Excellent tackle in open field by the Mustang special teams unit.
Jaden Shepard there at the gunner spot. He just puts on the jets. His job, he doesn't have a lane, right? He's on the outside spot, usually call it like a gunner of sort. His job, you get to the guy with the ball, you bring him down as soon as possible. That's exactly what Jalen Shepard did there. Beautiful execution. Cole, special teams, they may not win championships, but boy, they might put you there.
They certainly make an impact, and now a long field to go for the Battling Bees to get to the end zone. Here's a keeper by Stoddard. Stoddard with his legs, bouncing out to the outside and getting out past the 25-yard line at the 26. An excellent gain and a first down there from Medina. They've been doing it on the ground here in the second half.
I don't get why they just don't add another lineman at least, or another linebacker. I don't understand, because right now you have 3 to 4 defensive backs that don't have an assignment.
Handoff up the middle, making a man miss an open field. It is a foot race to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Wojak, touchdown on the ground. The wide receiver playing some running back here in the second half. And he showed off his lightning quick speed in the open field. As soon as he got to that final level there in the secondary, he was gone. Nobody was catching him.
And that's why you have linemen and middle linebackers. That's 75 yards to the house, and he deserved every single one of those yards. Fantastic effort here by Medina. They figured out this defense. Strongsville, they have some questions they need to answer here.
So a quick score for the Battling Bees now makes it 42-28. Strongsville obviously still in this one. There's a lot of time as we're getting towards the end of the third quarter, mid and 46 seconds. Of course, we still have the fourth quarter coming up as well. If you're Strongsville, you want to do much of the same as what you did on the last drive. Work your way down the field, find the end zone, but now your defense that was so strong in the first half, they're struggling to get the stops because of the adjustments the offense of Medina has made.
So that was Wojak, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Big night for him.
Oh yeah,
A lot of touchdowns.
There's a lot of wide receivers I think that we kind of had circled today, and he's one of them that's really emerged here as one of the star featured guys here for the Battling Bees. And he's someone that, throughout this conference, you kind of think, hey, he might be one of the premier pass catchers in the entire league. Solid performance for him thus far, Cole.
Well, and coming in on the night, he was the third leading receiver for the team, 21 receptions, 328 yards, and 1 touchdown. Also, when it comes to running the ball, he only had 6 carries for 61 yards so far, yet through the first 4 weeks. So he has absolutely matched that and bettered that. Here's the return for Cox. Finds some room, out past the 30-yard line and brought down.
You mentioned that article. Tony Romo's not taking stats and writing an article and announcing at the same time. I can promise you that, Cole. There's only one guy doing that here tonight.
And huge credit to, again, Dom Clary. Again, always join me doing a great job each week. And like I said, not only my color commentator, but keeping stats and then also working on the article as well. This is a man of many talents.
I'm tweeting too.
There is a lot of multitasking here between the three of us, and again, we love bringing you the coverage here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. If you haven't already, this game's been wild and back and forth. Make sure to share this live stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't so far. A little bit of movement up front, jumping off sides, the battling bees, and that's going to give just a nice extra 5 yards for Strongsville to work with.
One thing I would have liked to see in there is that was right in front of the center. Snap the ball, right? Because that means you can have a free play. And you have a quarterback that can take advantage of that.
Beard hands it off. And those green jerseys are just keying on Xavier Belvin. He had some room to run in the first half. Since the halftime break, really nothing on the ground for him.
Not much. Cool. Even that second quarter, they kind of started to figure it out a little bit. You know, when you only have 3 down linemen, you have 3 linebackers. I believe so they might either be in a odd or a stack. The stack usually they're right behind, but it seems like they're being an odd. That can be kind of hard sometimes to stop the run when you're in an odd.
2nd and 5, Beard. Some pressure in his face. He's rolling to the near side. McIntyre coming back for the ball and gets his feet down, stays in bounds, and catches that one. Not much yardage at all, though. Maybe a yard. We'll see if they give him 2 here on the spot. 3rd and 4. 28 seconds remaining. Play clock down to 12, so going to need to run another play here. Beard, a shoulder fake, evades the pressure, running up the middle and sliding down. That will pick up the first down for the Mustangs. And the clock continues to tick. Down under 10 seconds left, and that should do it for the 3rd quarter.
Another reason, real quick before we get into the break, that he's progressed so well. What was one thing we saw against Avon Lake that we pointed out very early? He did not run the ball when it was a design pass. He's running the ball when he needs to. That's a quarterback who has matured and is getting better every single week.
And we got to go to break here as the Bees, the battling Bees of Medina, find themselves up 42-28. We'll be back for the start of the 4th quarter.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com. TNT Construction. They provide residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com.
And back for the start of the 4th quarter, where we'll have the finish of this game from Ken Duke Stadium here live on our YouTube channel. Beard, keeper up the middle, is actually a 4th and short. And he just gets that surge forward and moves the chains. Again, thought his run where he slid down on 3rd down was enough to move the chains, but when he started that slide must have been just a little bit before, and they were able to send the offense out and get the conversion on 4th down that was crucial for the Mustangs to keep this drive alive, down 14. Belvin in the backfield. Beard has a man down the sideline, an excellent grab off of a nice throw. Jeremy Knopf. And the Mustangs now into Medina territory.
What a beautiful catch there. Had to really turn around there to kind of turn his body, get both hands up. Beautiful catch. Defender was able to get him down there, but beautiful play.
Handoff, Belvin. Belvin, stiff arm, escaped one tackler, but another defender for the Battling Bees tracks him down from behind and quickly takes him down, so not a ton of room for him once again. 2nd and 9 on the 31. A reminder here that both of these teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Of course, if that becomes important here later in this game. Beard in the gun, evading some pressure. On the run, throws this towards the end zone. A diving catch!
Wow!
Touchdown, Mustangs! Cole, this is a classic big play after big play.
Oh, I think my heart just skipped a beat. Cool, I'm 23, and my heart is beating through my chest right now. This is why we love football and why we cover high school football every week the way we do. For incredible, impeccable plays like that. That is a ESPN Sports Center top 10 play. That is not an ordinary play, Cole.
Will Dasher have yourself a night in the second half? He has made some big catches in the third quarter. That one that would have been pass interference had he not hauled it in, that set them up for the last touchdown. And now a diving reception, and he got hit as soon as he caught it as well and held on through the contact. And after that made PAT, it's now a 7-point game once again, 42-35. Battling Bees still up with 10.5 minutes left to go in this game.
You know, I said it earlier this half. Dasher really dashed his way into the end zone there, Cole. I mean, he had the jump to get there, but whew, this game's insanity.
This has been ups and downs, an emotional roller coaster for both sides. You have to think the home fans have felt it throughout this game, so have the visiting fans as well. If you're not on the edge of your seat at home watching this one or wherever you're tuned in, you might want to get on the edge of your seat, because I think the late game heroics are very possible here, and this back and forth drama is probably not done with how much time we have left.
So much ball game here. Again, this Strongsville defense, after Medina's kind of figured them out, they need to get some adjustments. I'm excited to see this possession here. Will Strongsville stay to the status quo, or will they adjust to what Medina is doing now?
Penalty marker down on the field.
Offsides.
And it's going to be, Dom called it, offsides on the kicking team. So a mistake there on special teams. They're going to come back and re-kick this again after backing up. So now instead of kicking from the 40-yard line, kick off from the 35. Returners back deep, move forward just a little bit. Again, that last kick sailed into the end zone. You'd think if this has the same distance on it, it's going to be right about the 5-yard line where those returners are standing. That's exactly where it's fielded. Wojak, he's made some big plays. This time, can't get quite to the 25-yard line before he meets some white jerseys. And Stoddard and the offense return once again.
Let's see, Strongsville, what do you do? Keep to what you're doing on defense, which was working. Not so much anymore. I think that's I think they have 3 down linemen now, Cole. See if I see, yeah, is that 49? I see a 58, I see a 51. There's some big numbers to be some linebackers. Cool, I got my wish. We got 3 down linemen here on defense. Let's see what Medina does.
Yeah, three down linemen. I'm seeing a couple linebackers out there as well. They're changing.
Yes, I like that. But now you have 3 wide receivers off to the left with the safety as well in coverage.
So here's the handoff up the middle to Scram. Scram escapes one tackler and gets some extra yardage out to the 30-yard line. So a nice run. A little surprised that Medina went back to the ground again after Strongsville changed it up on defense with their look, but it worked for them there. gain of 7.
Well, you start with the advantage here because there's 3 down linemen. They only have, I think, 2 linebackers in the box, so you have the advantage there. You have 5 linebackers. Right now, there's only 1 really linebacker in the box here. Well, that's interesting.
Showing some pressure now. Stoddard keeps it, but he's tripped up from behind. He does surge forward. Looks like it's enough to move the chains, and it is.
But you still have the advantage here on the ground. Every team I played for, when you see 3 down linemen, hey, we have the advantage. A little bit more complicated in what they can do now with the stunts and the movement. There's more pressure that can come on the outside instead of the inside, so you have to read a little bit more. But you have the advantage on the rushing attack.
Trips right. Stoddard looking to his left. Finds his receiver. Big physical stiff arm there from Scram, and he gets out of bounds. So that stops the clock at 9.5 minutes left. 2nd and 6 coming from the 38-yard line. Empty set in the backfield. Stoddard, quick release, and that one's dropped, and that one should have been caught there by the talented receiver, Knowles. He's had a pretty good game. He's going to want that one back. 3rd and 6 now.
We've done a good amount of games together, not just in Keon Sports for Baldwin Wallace. A lot of games, right? This might be probably my favorite one so far.
It's been a fun one, that is for sure. This has been neck and neck. It has been wild. Feels like we've had a season of highlights in one game. Will we have another one? Here's a little out route. Just a little comeback route there on the outside, and Scram hauls this one in. 1st down once again for Medina. They're just chipping away little by little, moving the football.
That's the way to do it sometimes. You have to lead. Let's do our offense. Get back to a script here if you have one. And, do what you got to do. I mean, right now you can run the offense that you... Oh, no, we're back to the 2 down linemen.
And then with being back to the 2 down linemen, Brennan Scram motions into the backfield. He's going to get the handoff. The talented wide receiver trying to bounce out to the outside. He moves into Mustangs territory. A nice gain on 1st down.
In that, I like that. So I think what they're doing is that they're getting that motion in that's designed to run play there, right? But they're doing it where he's getting the ball and hitting the hole where there's no defensive lineman, only the 1 linebacker that's not in the ball. There's no combos to hit. You basically just have one-on-one matchup there, and then boom, everyone releases to a safety and defensive back, and you like those matchups if you're Medina.
Knowles and Scram to the left side of the field. Now Scram motions. Stoddard, the keeper up the middle, and he hit that hole with some speed. Stoddard has plenty of speed. That is for sure for the quarterback there. As soon as he saw that gap, the A gap, open up, he was through and off to the races. He was able to be run down, but not before he gets a 1st down for the Battling Bees. Ball now on the 37. Offense getting to the line of scrimmage, moving a little bit quicker. Stoddard out to the far side. Just a simple route there to Knowles. Knowles makes the catch, stays in bounds. Thought he was going to go out. Instead, he gets a couple extra yards following the completion.
They love those curl outs on the outside. They're not really being covered, taking advantage of them, picking this defense apart. They weren't able to do that earlier in the game. That's why they relied on that rush attack so heavily. It almost seems like they're calling audibles depending on what's happening. I feel like that's what they're doing, looking to the coaching staff when they see something a little bit different.
Stoddard, empty set once again, wants to fire to the end zone, and he's got his man. Touchdown, Medina, Carlos Corchado.
This Medina team is everything we thought they were going to be going into the game. Now, when we saw those 2 interceptions, we're both like, well, what is going on? But now, I mean, they put up 48 points essentially with a very bad first quarter. But that second quarter, they got rolling a little bit now. They are just a monster right now. Now they need their defense to kind of ice this here for them.
PAT is up and good once again for Medina. And they find themselves up 14 points, 49-35. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Tom, we talked about earlier at the beginning of this game, we reached the midway part of this regular season. It is week 5. What a midway part of the regular season. And this is our first time this season getting to see Medina in person. Talk about some dramatics this season so far. Obviously, we talked about week 2 being one of the games of the week, if not the best game in Northeast Ohio, as they faced Avon. Now, they ended up losing that one, but they went for broke. They went for that 2-point conversion. They wanted the win. They just weren't able to pull it off. Now we saw really what's been an exciting one here again tonight, and it's still not over. It has been a fun one tonight. You almost think that anytime you're around the Battling Bees this year, you're going to have an interesting game.
You know, we're back here another time, aren't we?
We are.
And if my memory is correct, I'll have you answer this because I know you know the schedule like the back of your hand. Who do they play again?
Mentor.
Now that's a game that's going to contest this for being a classic, Cole.
Yeah, and that one will be a fun one. Here's the kick and the return for the Mustangs, trying to get to the near side of the field, looking to maybe cut back and get some extra yardage. Jeremiah Pleasant, good return, getting that one up pretty close to the 40-yard line at the 39. So Beard in the offense, return once again. They haven't had a problem scoring. It's just been a matter of, can you stop Medina on the other end from scoring? It has been back and forth, touchdown after touchdown. Will Dasher's been coming up big at wide receiver. You think at this point with this much time on the clock, still plenty of time, 7.5 minutes left to go, I think it's going to have to start switching to a much more heavy air attack. You're not going to see as many runs. Watch out for Dasher. Instead, looking in the direction of McIntyre, a little slant over the middle. Tight coverage, knocked away, and that falls incomplete. A lot of credit to the sophomore safety, number 8, Talon Holvey, one of the leading tacklers on the Medina team, and that was a nice play from him over the middle.
You know, I'm really impressed by Nolan Beard tonight, Cole. This is a kid that we saw a glimpse of a player that can be good, and right now we're seeing what he can be.
Here is Beard looking for a strike over the middle, finds McIntyre. McIntyre into Battling Bees territory, and I'll be honest, even though that was a really good completion, Jeremy Knopf was running wide open down the far sideline. Again, if Beard looked his direction and launched it down the field to him, that would have been a touchdown there. But regardless, still a really good throw, really good catch by McIntyre. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They're moving quickly. Not too much time's come off the clock yet. Little throw into the flats, and that one's dangerous. And that one actually might have been backwards. It's picked up by the Battling Bees, getting down the field and tackled inside the 20-yard line. It's number 82, Jacob Nunn, the defensive lineman for Medina, and that one hurts as Nolan Beard threw that one backwards. Belvin just didn't snag it, and that one really hurts if you are the Mustangs because you played such a good game. But now you'd have to think, you know, that could be one of those game-sealing plays.
Cool, was that 100% a backwards pass?
You know what, it was close. Only problem is, you know, high school football, not necessarily instant replay. They are showing the clip up there.
Let's see.
Again, he throws that one he's right at about the 49-yard line, and it looks like it's just going back just slightly. It's so close. It's very nearly dead even.
That's like a Music City Miracle type of, is it forward, is it back type of ordeal there.
Splitting hairs, that is for sure. But for the Battling Bees, they're going to be content with having the football, and Dan Stoddard wants more over the middle. Brennan Scram hit as soon as it hits his hands, but the talented senior wide receiver hauls it in still. And that now sets up 1st and goal, and this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Medina wants more. They want to get another touchdown up on the board. Stoddard, the keeper up the middle, he surges forward, puts that head down. He is going to be stopped short. 2nd and goal.
So, predicting that Medina will score here, right? Never want to do that, but say they do. You're down 3 scores here for your Strongsville. You put up 35 points after you put up 0 against a team that is not Medina. We'll say that is not Medina. But you didn't put up any points. Now you put up 35. A little bit promise there for the rest of your season.
Scram in motion. Stoddard wants a fade to the back corner of the end zone. And he actually threw that one quite short and nearly picked off, but he did take a hit for his troubles there in the backfield. That was Michael Novak surging through. I think that's going to be against Strongsville, and it is. Roughing the passer.
Michael Novak, I've talked about him. That's a kid that is just balling today there on defense, especially early in the game. He's a little frustrated right now. You see him, he's a signal caller there for the defense. He's frustrated. He knows that they could have gave up less than 49 tonight, possibly more depending what happens here in this possession. He took out his frustrations there on that play where he didn't need to. You hate to see that happen to a young, talented player who's really put it all there on the field tonight. Just not the result that he wanted. A little frustrated.
Stoddard, fade to the back corner of the end zone again, and finds his intended target. That's a touchdown once again. Number 15, Nathan Angus.
Jeez, for the wide receivers, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. It's like Oprah's out there playing quarterback. It's just everyone's getting touchdowns here tonight. Some wide receivers are getting multiple. This is a team that is fun to watch. They have fun games. This is their second fun game they've had, but they're kind of running away with it now. Cole, we might have to put Medina on the schedule a little bit more for next year, considering how fun they are, seeing them score. And we covered them a lot this year. I believe we're going to see them, one more time, 2 more times, I think?
We're going to see them one more time here in the regular season.
Okay. But this is an exciting team. And look, their future's bright as well. I mean, even last year, it was an exciting team. Game was a little bit of a blowout there with Drew Allar at quarterback, but we see a quarterback who's just as exciting, I'd say, here for us tonight.
Yeah, Stoddard has been spreading that football around, and his wide receivers are profiting, and his wide receivers also touching the ball as running backs, something that you probably don't see too much with this team. You have to think last year they had Spatney, their very talented linebacker, who would sometimes come in, they'd hand it off to him, physical runner. You don't see as much of that this year, and that's why you're seeing them utilize those talented wide receivers and sometimes getting them in the backfield to help with that ground game. It's paying off. Like I said, after that made PAT, 56-35 in favor of Medina. What a big performance from them as they found themselves down 14 in the first quarter. They marched back, tied it up as we went into the halftime break, and now they find themselves up 21. But still a lot of time left in this game, running backwards. On the return, I see some penalty markers there on the far side of the field, as Pleasant's going to be taken down. I think this is going to be against Strongsville, though, on the return. We await the call from the official here at center field. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth.
So let's look at this offense here, Cole. Who's returning? Nolan Beard will be a junior next year. A lot to look forward there from him. You have Belvin. He's going to be a senior. Expect a lot from him. You are losing Van Roy, of course. Novak will be gone as well. Let's look at some of these wide receivers. Will Dasher, it's a sophomore, cool. Who else have we seen tonight? Number 80, again, he's not on the stat sheet here tonight. Jeremy Pleasant is a sophomore. This is a group that's led by sophomores. This is why they've been struggling, because there's almost little to no experience in some of these positions that they rely on so heavily. Next year could be a Strongsville team like we haven't seen in the past few years. A team that can really push forward and be promising into a conference title, and we see glimpses of what can be next year, even later this year.
Beard's back to pass. That holding penalty on the return had them backed up, and that sack is going to back them up even further. Excellent play by the front 7 for the Medina Battling Bees, and that's their sack leader, number 17, Preston Pennington, the senior. And Pennington came into the night with 3.5 sacks. Like I said, give him one more. Now 2nd and 16 from the 12. Beard back to pass. He's got a man wide open on the far sideline. That's Knopf. Gorgeous throw there, and Knopf has been running wide open on that far sideline multiple times here in the 4th quarter. And as this game continues to wind down, a reminder that at the conclusion of this game, don't go away. We'll have a quick post-game show and announce the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Here's a handoff up the middle. Out past the 40-yard line. Nice gain there. On the ground on that first down, picking up 5 yards.
You know, I failed to mention Knopf as well, Jeremy Knopf. He's a junior. Cool. This is a team that's going to be really fun next year. Now, the offensive line, you are losing your best man there at left tackle. He'll you know, if things go well, he'll be going to Pitt, where he's committed. A lot of promise next year.
Not to interrupt, but Beard wants this one in the direction of Knopf, and there's an interception into double coverage. Talon Holvey, the sophomore safety, just playing as a center fielder, and he met that at the highest point. And the defense swarming, making plays.
I got the student section fully hyped right now. We have a defense that finally figured it out here against Strongsville. The credit to Strongsville. This is a team that I'm actually really excited for in the next few years, Cole. A real team that I'm, you know, mark them down. They're going to be a team that's going to be real scary for the next year or two. This Medina team, they're scary not just now, but also as well in their own right in the next few years as well. I mean, they have a good amount of players returning, I believe, if I've read things correctly, Cole.
And it feels like they're always just continuing to recycle those wide receivers and just continue to load up. And again, going to throw out to a wide receiver out on the far side, and some room to run there. As we see some new faces out onto the field. That's Cameron Hathaway, who was moving forward there. And like you mentioned, a new QB out on the field. That's junior quarterback, number 18, Chris DePascali.
On the depth chart, they have him as 17. Wait. No. Oh, wait. Yeah, they have him as 17 on the depth chart here.
Yeah, number 18 here on the roster here tonight. And there's a throw that falls incomplete there over the middle on 1st and 10.
Let's look here. Stardar, he's a junior, right? Got a quarterback coming back next year, right? Schramm, he's a senior, but you'll have Angus stepping in that spot. Wojak will be back. Knowles will be back. Hathaway will be back. I mean, you have a lot of wide receivers coming back.
Finding the running back out of the backfield and working his way forward, number 13, Oliver Lloyd, of course, another one of those receivers. He did line up in the backfield, leaked out, made a man miss an open field. Huge gain there on the reception.
That's a junior that we can see filling a spot next year, right? Didn't get much time that we've seen so far. Hasn't been a featured guy, but he can be next year.
There's a clap of the hand, and Little out route in between two green jerseys. I think there was maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Two wide receivers not sure who it was exactly intended to, and that one falls to the turf. 2nd and 10 still from the 30. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in this one. Man in motion. Keeper. White jerseys quickly getting to the quarterback. Third and 10. No gain on that quarterback keeper. Still 5 wide for the Battling Bees. Short screen, and that one's just off sync. Out of sync there from the start there on that play. That one falls incomplete. 4th and 10 now from the 30, and the offense is going to stay out on the field. Up 21. So we'll see what some of these fresh faces for the Battling Bees can do here on this 4th down. A good test for them. And looking towards the end zone, this one floated up there. Tight coverage and falls incomplete in the direction of Oliver Lloyd. So turnover on downs. And Strongsville gets to bring the offense out onto the field here with 2.5 minutes left to go. You know, it just feels like there's not enough time, and this one's just a little bit too far gone for the Mustangs. But you know they're not done trying. Starting offense still out there on the field. They're going to try to work their way down the field, see if they can score quickly, see if miracles can happen here tonight on the road.
You know, with the way this game's been for a majority of the game, why not try a miracle, right? Let's get down, score, see what can happen.
Handoff up the middle, and really a lot less of north and south running. That was a lot of east and west running, just trying to find a hole there. And Jaden Jarek, the senior, swallowed up for a loss there on that carry. Clock continues to wind down. We officially hit 2 minutes remaining here in the game. Handoff up the middle once again. Barreling past the 30-yard line on that carry. So as I mentioned, of course, we're going to have a brief post-game show here as you're watching and listening live on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. The Battling Bees will move to 4-1 on the year and start off conference play with a win. For the Mustangs, they'll drop to 2-3, 0-2 in the conference, but they performed quite well here tonight. Here's a completion on the near side of the field, getting past the first down marker. Excellent job, continuing to fight his way forward there. And that was number 80, Storm Miller. Down to a minute left. Strongsville just taking their time. Still piecing some things together on film. They've done a lot of nice things here on offense. Huge improvements from what we'd seen here before. Here's a handoff trying to get to the sideline. Stays in bounds after a short gain there. .30 seconds left on the play clock. Really time for Strongsville to run one more play. And then that's going to do it here for this game. The Keon Sports Game of the Week has been a fun one, absolutely electric. It has been a great night. There's that handoff. Gets up to the 49-yard line, 3rd and 2. And the clock ticks down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that does it. The Medina Battling Bees win this one at home, We're going to take a really quick break here. Like I said, post-game show coming up on the Keon Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Travel by Mickey. Now is the time to make memories once again, and Mickey Beachler with Travel by Mickey is just the person to make all the arrangements for your dream vacation. Reach out to her at Mickey Beachler at mousemadesimple.com to begin your next big trip today. With Mickey, you get to experience all of the fun with zero hassles or stress of any kind. From a Disney cruise to a trip to the Greek Isles, she has every dream destination covered from liftoff to touchdown. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton. Westside Flea. Ohio's favorite flea market and festival will be coming back this spring and summer once again. The Westside Flea has something for everyone and will be held at North Olmsted Park on August 20th and September 17th. You can find them on Facebook at Westside Flea to learn more.
And we're back for the Keon Sports Game of the Week post-game show. Cole McDaniel alongside Dom Clary. Dom, the Battling Bees, they came away with this one. Let's start from the first quarter, what we saw at the beginning there for Strongsville, because we talked about earlier, they really came out and did punch the home favorites in the mouth.
Yeah, we saw a team that had a strategy that they were confident in. It worked out for them, but then Medina was able to adjust. You got those 2 picks early, really gave your team a boost to start, not just on defense, but on offense as well. Quick early touchdowns. Just wasn't enough to keep you on top.
Then Medina able to battle back. They were pinned up against it multiple times on 4th downs, and they continued to convert. And they were able to go into the halftime, the locker room, at 21 all. And then when they came back out, yeah, they gave up some more points to Strongsville, but the second half was their half, as really compared to the first half that was Strongsville. So that's really how they got that done. Dom, what did you see from Medina with that change and just the way that they were being gritty and fighting back after things didn't start their way?
I saw a team that kind of were able to sit down, discuss, hey, we've played probably our worst half of football all year, and it's a tie ball game. We're a good team. We can continue. We can progress from where we're at. Let's do that. That's exactly what they did. It is a team that I don't know what that conversation was at halftime, but I think every team needs that when they're down or a tie ball game in a game they're not expecting to be tied in. It's just a team that was resilient tonight. Medina was able to stick to the game plan and adjust on the fly, and that's the mark of a great football team.
Yeah, and we're going to get to the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Again, reminder that Back Attack Snacks, they're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best option in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. I mentioned all those big conversions on 4th down. And then there was a player that obviously had the guts to be able to continue to make those plays when it felt like things could even go more south for them in that first half. Second half looked impressive as well. Dom, our Back Attack Snacks player of the game.
Well, we had discussion. I think, we both made cases for a few people. I know Wojak was a guy we both liked. But the stats are overwhelming with Danny Stoddard and how phenomenal he was. 22 and 36 on the air, right? 252 yards passing and 5 TDs, 1 interception, right? That's a good day. 98 rushing yards and a TD as well. He didn't just lead his team with rushing yards, I do believe. I have to look over the rushing in general. But that's phenomenal for anybody. I mean, total yardage with it's not just with that passing, but it's with the 98 yards. He was phenomenal tonight. He came up big. He was able to make adjustments on the fly for his team, and he was a leader out there today. I think after last year, we kind of all looked at each other and thought, I wonder how Medina is going to be after losing Drew Alar. But they didn't lose Drew Alar, but they gained a stud here at QB.
Yeah, and congratulations to Dan Stoddard. Again, a very impressive performance here tonight. Maybe not the best start for him. Again, threw an early pick, but he did bounce back and was able to put up some big numbers. Again, you said over 400 throwing yards, passing yards. Again, just a pretty good night for him, and did it on the ground as well. That's something that he did to really get the offense trucking along again. So the combination of his arm and his legs, like I said, got things done. As we wrap this one up, again, Medina winning this one at home, 56-35 over Strongsville in Greater Cleveland Conference play. Dom, again, want to wish you the best of luck tomorrow, again, covering the MAC. Have safe travels. Enjoy that trip up to Michigan. Like I said, have a good time, and make sure everybody out there, if you want to check out Dom's MAC coverage, make sure to go to KeyOnSports.com, as well as a shout out to all of our wonderful staff, all of our wonderful interns out there, again, covering nearly 30 games each week. Those written recap articles are going to be up tonight, tomorrow. Check them out this weekend so you can see what happened around the area. And like I said, I mentioned this a few times in the broadcast. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you do so. Of course, there are some big stats, maybe some people from this game who might be up for the Jenny's Popcorn Player of the Week. Again, to be able to vote for that, you have to be able to, you have to subscribe to the Key On Sports channel for your vote to count, so make sure you go ahead and do so. Everybody watching and listening live and watching and listening to this playback here this weekend and beyond, thank you again. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for a wonderful Week 5. We can't wait to be back with you here again. For myself, Cole McDaniel, Dom Clary, and shout out to Brandon Soder. Everybody, have a wonderful night.